What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and what a week we had this week. DSP getting toxic towards his audience, getting destroyed in an interview, beefing with the FGC, and much, much more. We start off today with TJ Gamebox, who shows that DSP spent $2,768 if he didn't get Seth Rollins in WWE Champions. But if he did, that means he spent $2,352, and this comes on the heels of his Viewer's Choice Marathon, where he made over $800. And he's about to be paid by YouTube and Kick. And we have this from Meowblock, titled Freedom. And we see cartoon DSP with his boobs flopping around and flying through the air. Broside Phil adds on, Jesus Christ, I think I peed a little. Then Jenna, desperate for attention, she posts up a picture of DSP jerking off and says, my tongue deep up his asshole. Then we have Infidel Castro, who shows off Philly Mitchell. And then we have Darcy DeFlo, teaser trailer, Darcy DeFlo, Ma Bill's live version, The Redemption Arc, Tour 2025. Who's coming to the show?
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. Need that money. Need that money. Need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. Need that money. I need that. Really need that money. Need that money. Really need that money. Really need that money. That money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. Need that money. I need that. Really need that money. Need that money. Need that money. Really need that money. That money. Hello, everybody. It's Darkside Phil. I need that money. To pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth. I need that time. Why accident? I'm fucking voting.
Then we have a tweet from PlayStation about the outage on PSN, and DSP responds to them. After a decade being a console gamer, and now primarily being on PC, I can finally see some of the concrete benefits. PSN or Xbox Live being down will likely never affect me again. Being reliant on a centralized online service seems so primitive now. Then despite getting over $800 on his marathon, despite getting $15,000 for his 100 goals, DSP starts off the pre-stream begging for money, and that he really needs to hit that first goal, because Kat is working and Phil can't cook. So he needs to order food, unlike other days.
We only need 4 more goals hit in order to unlock DSP Tries It. If we stay on pace, which is how things have been going, likely we'll be doing this within the next couple of days. And that'll be perfect because actually my wife is going to be working the next few days. So to do DSP Tries It and be able to order the food and have it be our dinner one of those days would be perfect.
So how many times in the past have we heard DSP say, I was watching videos last night, I was watching tutorials on Street Fighter, I was watching character videos on this person, I was studying up videos on Street Fighter characters, I was doing this or that. Well, guess what, guys? DSP now says anyone uploading videos on how to beat characters that DSP uses in Street Fighter 6 is ruining the game for everyone. Because as Dragon points out here, what DSP wants is he wants an advantage over the other people. He wants to be able to stomp them and them not to know what's going on. All those damn dirty scrubs.
The late stream tonight is Street Fighter 6 with Mai Shiranui. We actually tried her on release day back on Wednesday. I was pleasantly surprised because her gameplay style was very fun and different than most of the cast because of the fan mechanics that you can use. And people hadn't learned how to completely beat everything yet, so it was fun to use her. Now tonight, I may have completely the opposite situation. Tonight when I go to play Street Fighter 6, no lie, everyone might have already mastered Mai Shiranui, knows everything about her, and can easily dominate this character. That's what happens with this game, is the meta literally gets spread within a day, because these idiots on the internet think it's oh, I can get some views on this. Let me just make the perfect video that completely spoils everything about the character and shows exactly how to beat her in every situation, and I can get like 10,000 views on my video. Yeah, but what about the era of discovery of fighting games where, you know, you can play them and enjoy them and try to discover shit for yourself? I guess it doesn't matter anymore, right? As long as we all get views on our streams and get clickbait views and shit, I guess it's fine, right? So now fighting games get destroyed within a couple of days of anything new being in them. It's just a sad fact. I guess I'm an old man who liked playing in arcades and discovering things over the course of weeks to months because I thought that it was fun rather than 2 days. But let's see what happens tonight and go from there. Hopefully, I'll have fun with the character and we'll have a good time tonight, okay?
Now also, keep in mind, DSP had an entire channel that was DSP Street Fighter, where he showed tutorials of how to use and beat characters. And why'd he do that? Oh yeah, for the views. But I'm not like other creators, dude. I'm real. I'm honest, dude. I'm trying to help you, dude. Believe me, dude. I did not spend $100,000 on WWE Champions, dude. Then Jade continues for 44 months being an Ultra supporter and says, "Hey, bub. I don't know like Monster Hunter. Just talk to you and chat, K." Of course, he's referring to DSP trying out the Monster Hunter demo today. Then we have JG Win. There really is no chill with asking for cash, as he moves right into the push for another $150. It would be better if he simply said, "I know you shipped over $800 on Friday after the 16,000 plus, but I expect $150 now because that was then and this is now." Then yet again, Iron Cuck Sakai with $50. "Please rethink Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's been fantastic so far. Also, you gotta swap your tunic out. It's obviously bugging you. Not suitable for the king." And also, DSP was complaining that no one is buying memberships on Kick. And then Iron Cuck Sakai comes in, gifting a sub. And the cool thing about Kick is they tell you a total of how many someone has donated or gifted. And apparently, Iron Cuck Sakai has gifted 537 subscriptions to the channel. So that basically works out to him spending $2,685 on DSP in subscriptions alone. Then DSP was worried. He believes he's going to have to buy a new graphics card or a new PC every 2 to 3 years to keep up with gaming PC, or he'll have to go back to consoles. And where you think that support's going to come from? Where you think that money's going to come from? Hint, hint, wink, wink. And look at the Kick chat. Never expected to see this when I logged in. Who is it? A random? Are those goddamn bots? Not gonna lie, this game is boring. And you'll never believe this, guys. Despite him playing Monster Hunter 3 times, and all 3 times he's wage quit, this time, Monster Hunter is not being supported very well. We have Meowblock already guilt-tripping his audience because they aren't giving him the money he's expecting. Just out berating them, telling them he's probably going to wage quit it if they don't step up, and they better not ever ask for this game again if he does. Then DSP thinks that Monster Hunter is the most popular franchise that Capcom has. Then not only was he berating the viewers on stream, he was berating the viewers on demand in the future for not showing up to this stream and supporting him.
My streams, I'm not streaming for myself. I'm streaming for an audience. And the truth is, if you're watching this on demand, and you weren't here for the streams today,
If you're watching this on demand,
what did you think? And why didn't you show up?
why didn't you show up?
Because I had announced that I was going to be playing it today for over a week, and everyone knew that I was going to be playing it.
Why didn't you show up? Fucking mask off, asshole.
And then look at that, the money's not coming in, so you know what that means. Wage quit time. And he's threatening people. You better support this or I'm quitting this right now. Then we have Gout. If I saw someone playing like DSP is playing right now, I'd kick him from the group. He's just riding the mount, shooting from a giant distance. DSP is using a hammer and just trying to face tank the monster and not understand anything. He's already died 3 times during this fight. And despite him saying, "I'm gonna wage quit this if no one supports this," he's now saying again, "If the money doesn't come in, I'm shutting this off and doing Q&A." And then goes on to say he's angry because since he started gameplay, he's only got one $2 super chat. Then goes on to say, "I am a complete newcomer to Monster Hunter, despite him playing Monster Hunter 3 previous times." Then chat had to handhold him because DSP couldn't figure out how to select items out of his pouch and said the menu is too busy. Then DSP was so confused. Monster Hunter is so popular, but why is no one supporting? He doesn't understand how a popular game can result in him not making money. Then even goes on further to say the menus are too complicated for him, and adds on to that, Monster Hunter is overcomplicated for the sake of being complicated. He then declares the game loop boring, but then finishes next sentence saying his audience finds the game boring. Because he always has to blame the audience. He can never take responsibility at all for anything. And now, out in the open, he doesn't care anymore. He's being a nasty bastard. And it's absolutely disgusting.
Now that I'm a full-time PC gamer, am I worried about PC gaming dying like I was before? My concern, my nose itches, by the way. Sorry, I have to do this. I know it's
Gross, but it was really itching me.
And still, everyone was withholding their support. And DSP says, are you going to show up and support or not? Now, I know what you're thinking. It can't be that bad. I mean, it's Monster Hunter. How bad could DSP make it look? Well, let's take a look at his quote-unquote gameplay.
Holy shit, this guy's crazy.
Trap set.
Whoa. Oh, God. Whoa. Ow. Instant death. Well, that's a legendary, indeed. God damn, I got hosed, man. Damn, that's crazy. I dodged and still instantly died, even though I was dodging. I guess there's no invincibility frames. Weakness, where is the weakness? I can't see it. I don't know, it's there, but I can't see it. I'm just gonna beat his ass. Whoa. Oh my God. So this is incredibly hard to do because he always has his superpowered attacks trained only on you. You have to have a team so that way you're diversifying the attacks. He's not always going for you. Dude, that's crazy. He just whoops that ass. We don't have enough healing. Oh shit! Did he just hit it? Oh my God! Another instant kill with no way to dodge it. Oh my God, dude.
Then someone asked him, if he hits the goal, will he buy the game? And DSP said no, but he might consider to buy it. Then we have Innocent Orphan. He's summoning bots for every fight and just mashing out the legs with a hammer. Not using wound mechanic, not aiming for weak points, can't figure out how to use items. Just the worst. So bad. Never play this again, DSP. Go back to bathroom camping in Call of Duty and mashing at Street Fighter, pig roach. And guess what, guys? The support was still not coming in. Poem Josh. He's upset over only having $80 in support and wants to quit for a Q&A and starts talking about how this is his business. And then reminds people he received over $700 less than a day ago. Then DSP goes on to say Monster Hunter is just fighting monsters over and over, and that's why it fails. Then DSP stopped the game just so he could record a video scolding his audience for not supporting him, and then quit the game. And then remember when DSP kept saying, all I want is $50 a stream? He's now saying anything less than $150 a stream is not a meaningful use of his time. And then DSP had issues because he couldn't figure out how to heal in Monster Hunter. Then DSP not paying attention to instructions or anything that pops up or tutorials and kept saying everything is too complicated. And he was getting angry because no one was helping him, no one was supporting. And he said, I need feedback. I need feedback to know what to do right now. And then the mature adult DSP saying he was able to deep clean his office thanks to your support. Phil, I'm just going to say this, as an adult, you should be cleaning even if you don't get support, because that's what being an adult is all about.
Oh, I will say this. I cleaned my whole office this morning. This morning, I took the air gun that I have, and I cleaned all the keyboards. I cleaned all these desk areas. I cleaned the keyboard of my laptop. I cleaned the keyboard over there. I blew all the dust off of all the different desks. Then I had my dust buster, my new dust buster, and I zoomed the whole office from top to bottom. I cleaned everything. I cleaned this whole stand. This thing was covered in dust and freaking glitter from Christmas and shit. So I cleaned that. I cleaned those. I actually cleaned my whole entertainment center from top to bottom with the dust buster. Oh God, there was so much dust and dirt on it. I deep cleaned the office this morning of dust and yuckiness. So I was very happy that now I have the equipment to do that because I could afford it.
Then as DSP is quitting Monster Hunter, he says, I'm sorry, but my time is very much in demand. I could be doing something else with my time right now. Now keep in mind, his job is to play video games, and he's saying, I don't want to play this video game because I could be doing something else with my time. Make that make sense. Then yet another example of DSP playing Monster Hunter.
Shit, I wasn't the ideal range. Music is great. Dun 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 dun. This guy's gonna have insane amounts of health, isn't he? I could already tell. I'm trying to change modes here. I can't. Oh, he's on it. He mounted it.
Then DSP goes on to say he doesn't even know what phone he uses. Then in the kick chat we have this. Money before my wife, real. Then we have this comment in YouTube by kinda manipulated by Sav. Phil got paid per excuse, he'd be a millionaire. And then we get the Street Fighter, the most toxic stuff he does. And he declares, people who quit on him in Street Fighter, instead of doing full sets, are bitches because they will never learn that way. Now keep in mind, all the times he says, I'm not giving you a full set, fuck you, Cammy. Then someone asked him, oh, stop stalling, just play the wireless player, it's casuals, it doesn't matter. And DSP in return responds that he's not a retard.
No, I'm not playing a wire. It's already bad enough. Do you think I'm gonna play a wireless ranked placement match? I'm not a fucking retard. I'm not doing that. Wow.
Then we have Volo. I got rabbed.
Oh, what? I got robbed. Are you kidding me? I got completely robbed. And look at the connection. Oh, come on. My first ranked match is supposed to be a wired match. My connection dipped, and that's why I lost. My connection went to 1 bar. It dropped my combo, and I couldn't block. So you see why I didn't want to fucking do this? Do you understand? Why did I lose? Because my connection dipped in the middle of the fucking ranked match.
I was like, why did the combo drop? And then I couldn't block after, and then the connection, apparently people were saying, went all the way up to 200 milliseconds. This is why I didn't want to fucking do it. Because tonight I already had issue with my connection. It doesn't say that was me. It literally doesn't say that was me. My connection's still showing in the green. But isn't it funny and suspect that at the end of the match, when I'm in the middle of doing a combo, my fucking connection dips, dude? Like, come the fuck on. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Wow, what a legit loss I got there, huh? What a piece of shit game.
And of course, the only reason he started playing rank match is because he said, if you want me to do rank, support the stream. And guess who supported? Iron Cuck Sakai. And look at that face. That is the face of a man who hates his job and hates his life. And if you think that was bad, let's see how DSP showed his excitement for Street Fighter 6. And just like any other Street Fighter stream, the excuses start piling up, and this one is no exception.
Can't do anything free. Can't do anything completely free. Can't do anything completely free. Lag spike. Lag spike.
Then, as Duty points out here, $160 of the $260 DSP received today came from Iron Cuck Sakai, successful businessman. Then we have this comment in chat. You should aim a camera at your hands so we can see your button presses. Your advertising is hindering my experience. I was forced to watch advert. I did not appreciate. Can I have a refund now, Phil? And then another excuse of why he lost today. There are no 5-bar connections left in the game anymore. That's why I can't get good matches. Yeah, that's exactly why. And then someone asked Iron Cuck in the chat why he keeps giving money to DSP, and Iron Cuck says, just want the sword badge, my guy. And then Star Wars Nerd, why do you want it, Iron Cuck? It's another badge, you mental midget. Then DSP hit the goal, but he refused to have a snack as part of his quote-unquote reward. And we have Theo. DSP won't eat snacks at the end of his stream, too late for that. But this dude had hamburgers and pizza as a midnight snack. So a tiny treat, that's crazy. 2 slices of pizza, that's fine, lol. Then this is funny, so on Kick, if you re-up your membership, it counts towards the goal. But if you re-up on YouTube, it does not count towards the goal. Make that make sense. And we have Not a Wabbit. Canceled my membership the other day after he ignored my re-up message for a second month in a row. Think I will also wait for gifts after mine runs out. And that brings us to Monday. And it was announced on Thursday, DSP was going to do an interview with Stephen Cambion, who is friends with Kino Casino. So I'm sure Phil was expecting a softball interview. We'll see how that goes. And PPP put this out on Twitter. If anyone wants to get questions or info for the upcoming DSP interview on Thursday, please DM Steven. Any relevant stuff you want Phil asked. He will use it for sure and get the answers people are demanding. And DSP opens up the pre-stream showing off his pillow, looking for sympathy cause support is low. Again, going on about his neck and his back, and he's in pain, and he's gonna tough it out for you, so please support the stream, dudes. Then DSP decides to give health information about doctors and pain, and well, you can imagine, coming from DSP, this is the worst possible advice ever. Do not listen to this man.
I am here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as a realist, I want you to understand something. It doesn't matter how much you exercise. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter how many stretches you do, how many doctor appointments you go to, how many injections you get, how many medications you take. You're gonna have medical issues, and you better just learn to deal with them psychologically and physically, because if you don't, you're gonna be a fucking bumbling mess, crybabying about it for the rest of your life, instead of learning how to just say, okay, I'll just deal with it and move on. All these things that these people say, oh, you could do this, you could do this. Or you could just live with it because you can't cure everything. You might want to believe that. You might want to think that life is rainbows and unicorns and everything is magically curable. It's not. I've had these conditions for over 20 years. I will have them for the rest of my life. I've come to terms with that. So I don't need to run to the fucking doctor every time that I accidentally pinch the nerve in my neck. But maybe you do because you're a sissy and you think that some doctor is magically going to cure every problem you have. And you think that you have the crazy health solution to every problem. You don't. You're an idiot.
Now keep this in mind for later when he starts talking about his neck and his pain and how he flip-flops on everything. DSP goes on to say, I have a debilitating back injury. 3 minutes later. As long as I don't think about it, it doesn't affect me. That doesn't make any sense at all, Philip. Then DSP goes on to say, I've never tried to make a bag by pulling the wool over someone else's eyes or being selective with what I told someone. I've always tried to be the truthful person. Even though, even this year, he's admitted he has to learn to be more truthful. And he lied in the past, even to June the King. He said in his interview, I have a problem lying. And Poem Josh adds on to it. He factually lied about having a cat for months while telling people he was too poor to consider having pets, while asking people to pay for his groceries. Then someone gives DSP $20 to shout out his girlfriend's birthday, which I doubt this person actually has a girlfriend. And my god, what a waste of money.
Hey, Phil, can you wish my girlfriend a happy birthday? Her name is Brooklyn. Thanks a lot. Sure, happy birthday to Brooklyn. I hope you have a good day.
Then on this day, DSP decided he's gonna go hardcore, defended the word retard. And the true reason is because he's sucking up to Kino Casino, because before he said, that's a hurtful word. That's a word you should not be able to say. Even a month ago, when Cog was on RTU streams and Cog called DSP a retard, DSP said that's a word you cannot use because it's a bad, hurtful word. But now he's using it like crazy, especially with Jade in the chat too. Then he goes on to call all his detractors retarded. Then he decides he's going to eat the snack he was supposed to eat last night on stream for hitting the goal. Then he goes to wash his hands, gone for 10 minutes, comes back, begs hard, and then goes on another bathroom break. And now he's going to complain about rollback netcode yet again. And he's going to complain that he's the smart one, everyone else is dumb, they're sheep, they don't know what they're talking about, they ruin fighting games, dude.
No, I don't fundamentally misunderstand rollback netcode. It's that the FGC fundamentally won't accept the reality of rollback netcode and keeps kissing each other's ass and stroking each other's balls, saying that it's great when it's not. You can believe whatever you want because everyone is stupid and ignorant, or you can fess up to reality that it's not the perfect netcode and it has tons of issues, which you can see if you just watch things matter-of-factly instead of living in a bubble of hype and bullshit, which is what the FGC does, okay? Yes, it's very tough to be the smartest man in the room. It really is. It really is. It's tough to be the person who literally doesn't fall for hype. Like, seriously, it's tough to be the person who talks the truth, but everyone else is, but I don't get it because everyone else disagrees with you. No, they don't disagree with me. They all just believe the people who say the bullshit because they're gullible. They don't know any better because all they've ever experienced was rollback netcode and they've been told constantly that's the best. Since, you know, they're told by the top people in the FGC and the Canon guy who designed it and the people who run Evo, and these person and that person. So they all just, oh, okay, instead of actually looking with their own fucking eyes to see how bad it is. Why would you be teleporting in a fighting game? Why would you do an input and the game takes your input back and says, no, you didn't do that? That's crap. Why would you want to play a fighting game where someone who mashes jab like a retard is favored over someone who did something timed perfectly to counter it? That's bad. There's no way you can dispute this. If you have a logical brain, there is no argument that you can use to counter what I'm saying. But if you're a hype monster idiot and you believe people who don't have your best interests in mind because all they care about is getting hype on the FGC so we can boost those stream numbers and we can get those sponsorship payouts, then I can't fucking help you. You're dumb. So if you want to go through life being dumb, go ahead. I can't stop you. Or you can try using some of the few brain cells you still have in that fucking head and look at the gameplay and look at the results and say, oh, yeah, that shouldn't happen. That netcode sucks. Sorry if you're just dumb.
Mashes jab like a retard.
Then he's really loving this word, and he decides to say it while talking about the people that play Street Fighter 6.
Why would you want to play a fighting game where someone who mashes jab like a retard is favored over someone who did something timed perfectly to counter it?
And now get ready for a great rant from DSP about the proper usage of the word retard.
No, you see, CS James, that's the problem. Because people misunderstand. People actually think that when I'm using the word, I'm using it as an insult. I'm not. It's a genuine descriptor, okay? I want you to understand something. People that sit around all day on the internet, opening their phones, their laptops, their tablets, their mobile devices, going to one of my detractors' channel, watching the content that they put out every day. That's illegally restreamed, that is completely out of context, purposefully over-exaggerated, defamatory, slanderous content, and they legitimately believe it is fact, and then they propagate it, and they have a community based around it, and they have friendships and relationships based around it, and they have memes, entire memes, that if someone says a word, just a single word, Wolverine toy, ooh, and that's how they react. They go just like this, ooh, Wolverine toy, I recognize that. That is not normal human behavior. That is not representative of a regular human's intelligence or behavior. That is showing signs of actual retardation, that your brain has been stunted and you're acting like that. But people don't care because they go through life acting like cows or acting like sheep, and they just go with the flow. They don't actually think for themselves. They just act stupid. And there's millions upon millions of people on planet Earth that are literally just stupid creatures that never add anything to the planet. They're just there to exist and take. They are dunces. They are just big sucks on natural resources. They're not there to be productive. They're not there to be constructive. They're not there to spread anything positive, happy, or to improve anything for anyone around them. They are just sucks. Big vacuous existences of sucking on the positive and giving nothing back. Those are my detractors, and those are the people who watch my detractors. Do you get it? Those aren't normal people. Those aren't intelligent, sharp, savvy people who are thinking, who are actively doing something to make life better for people around them. These are just people along for the ride. They're not, I'm not saying that they're suffering from some kind of a medical condition. I'm saying their brains are stunted because they don't actually take the time to think about what they do. You get it? This is not a slur or an insult. This is a descriptor, an actual adjective to their behavior. If you're describing someone as something and it's accurate, it can't be offensive, stupid. Do you get it? It's only offensive when you use it in a way that you're trying to insult. I'm literally not trying to insult anyone. I'm telling you these people are mentally slow based on their behavior. It's a direct cause and effect. There is no intentional insult here. This is how it is. They're dumb. Get it?
Then DSP still not getting why people hate him. He goes on to say, everyone went woke, and that's part of why people started to see him as a hateful person. Then he goes to the bathroom. Another 17 minutes gone from the stream. Then as soon as his wife gets home from quote-unquote work, DSP right back into begging to hit 2 goals so he can buy Arby's and his wife doesn't have to cook. Then people asked him, what if you get sick and you need health care? And after that whole rant about doctors and not being pussies and stuff like that, DSP goes on to say, if he gets sick, or his wife gets sick, or if they're in old age and need help, he's gonna start a GoFundMe, that's right. He called you a pussy for going to a doctor, but if he gets sick, he wants you to pay for him. Then DSP tries to retcon his laugh after being asked about it by a viewer.
This person says, Phil, longtime viewer, I can't help but notice you subconsciously phased out your iconic laugh. I don't blame you. A lot of people have given you a lot of shit for it, but sometimes I wish you would let it rip, laughing out loud. In truth, I don't think I phased it out. I think my setup doesn't really capture it the way it used to be caught anymore. Like, if you remember, my iconic laugh actually used to happen when I was behind the camera, right? And I would laugh, ha, 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 just like that, like, ha, 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 right? And it would catch it. But now, first of all, number one, my setup doesn't capture it the same way, and it doesn't sound the same anymore, right? Like, that didn't sound, when I go, ha, that doesn't sound the same as it used to. That's actually the same exact laugh I used to do all the time. It just sounds different with modern equipment, you know, versus a camera.
And in a move that shows you how much he does not love his wife and they are roommates, a viewer asked him, which is more important, money or his wife? And DSP says, she's cooking so we can't spend time together.
Why don't I spend time with my wife now? Is money that much more important to her? Well, number one, because I'm scheduled to be here till 4 o'clock. I'm trying to make some more money before then. She has to cook. So even if I went downstairs right now, she'd be cooking in the kitchen. So it's not like I'd be able to be spending time with her. She's already doing something, you know? If it meant, hey, I can get out of here early and we're going to run off and do something fun together, right? Or we were ready to sit down and relax or whatever together, then I would, but that's not the case. Like, I was already scheduled to be here till 4.
And then finally, he finished his Dark Souls modded run, which made it easier. Immediately, support is down, so what does he do? Begs, not for 1, not for 2, but for 3 goals right now. Someone drop all that money. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's get that Arby so I can eat it and my wife doesn't have to cook. And of course, you know what happens if he finishes a game early, or wage quits or rage quits? Q&A time. And in this Q&A, DSP talks about his history with money. How exciting. What robust content, dude. Then someone asked Phil why he uses the word retard. And Phil says, why is it offensive? That's what they called me when I was 5. Newsflash for you, Phil. They still call you that at 42. Then it appears if DSP runs out of ideas for his electronic picture frame, he'll just add in whatever, like this, whatever this picture is, a girl in the camcorder. What are we doing here, Phil? And look at that. That is a man right there, again, that hates his job and hates his life. And this is one of the things I hate/love, is when he always complains, my inputs didn't come out, and then shows the controller after he presses the input, like we're supposed to magically see in the past that he pressed the buttons. And we have Meowblock, hey retard, why are you showing us your controller after the fact to prove you didn't press the button? That's not how that works. You get it?
Oh, he still hit me even though I dodged. Wow, I didn't press that. Yo, I did not press that at all. What the hell? That is an insanely outdated input.
Now remember earlier when DSP said, oh you're a pussy, just take it, don't see a doctor, get over it. This is the title of his Call of Duty stream. If my neck holds up, more Black Ops 6 multiplayer action, February 10th. And then people asked him if he's going to put more stuff in his background. And he said he can't add anything more in line with his content to the background because you want to see all the lights and nice background he just paid for. Then remember earlier, DSP was defended the word retard and said it's okay, people got woke and pussies and it's okay to say it. Well, he just banned someone in Kick for saying it in the wrong sense. And then Kick chat started revolting and withholding, saying they're not going to support unless their friend gets unbanned. And then over on YouTube, we have comments like this, we don't have infinite money. Then DSP goes on to say that all the detractors are lining themselves up to self-felt themselves. Keep this in mind for Thursday night.
All I'm gonna say is this. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that all the people who have messed with me over the years are lining up like ducks in a row to felt themselves over and over as if it's just like a gallery, like the rogues gallery of idiots. Every one of them wanted to dump on me over the years. Well, guess what? I'm the one still standing tall here with no problems at all. And they're the ones who are just getting boom, 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 all getting exposed for heinous things. Oh, it's a buyer's market for cars. Buyer's market for cars. Oops, I'm going to jail for, revenge sex porn. Gee, I wonder what's worse. It's like I've said over the years. The people who are the most vocal about the shortcomings of others are doing that because they have the worst skeletons in the closet and they're trying to direct attention away so that no one ever looks at them. If I'm constantly dumping on top of everyone else, hopefully no one will look at me, right? But what's happened is all of them are being proved to be the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
And look at this. 244 people watching his stream, and on Raw Phil, 1,011 people watching. But people love you, Phil. You're having a resurgence, dude. And then he got some flack for banning people and the proper usage of the word retard. Poem Josh. DSP continues his retarded take on the usage of retard by banning people who retardedly use the word retard the same retarded way he has done. Now using retard in a generalized manner is bad because it attacks a group of retards.
Because I banned loyal viewers. Chimchar outright was insulting everyone on the stream. Literally, you didn't see what he said, did you? You can't do that. You can't be just publicly trying to insult people on the stream for no good reason. And he basically was insulting everyone. So, I mean, it's his fault. There's a difference between if you're making a joke, okay, or you're actually trying to say something that people can find offensive. For example, what it is now this morning on my podcast, we had a discussion about the word retard and what it means. Okay? And that if you're using it as an actual descriptor, an actual description of people's behavior, meaning their thought is actually retarded because they're not smart. They have stunted intelligence, right? That's not offensive. It's offensive if you're actually saying that someone has the condition who doesn't have it. There's a medical condition called that, and that's not what I'm saying when I say the word. You can't then just start saying that in the chat willy-nilly, nonstop, saying it in an offensive manner. That's not allowed. What would you like me to do? No, he wasn't using it as a descriptor. He was basically generalized use trying to be funny, and it wasn't funny. And he was using it as an insult towards everyone on the stream, which you can't do. So it's his own fault. He can get incorrect. It's not all okay or none okay. It's about context, right? It's about context. It's absolutely correct. It's about context. Especially with language, when language can mean one thing or another depending on the context.
He would then go on to demand that he email him, apologize, and guarantee he's not going to use the word retard in the way he did before. And his kick chat still revolting against him, refusing to give him money until the guy is unbanned. And DSP said, I can't do it on the fly. I can't unban him. He needs to email me and apologize. Then people kept talking about his health advice yet again. And we have kind of sad. Of course, the man that looks 10 to 20 years older than his real age thinks healthy diet and exercise are a scam. And guess what? Low support. So you know what that means? Yet again, Q&A. And he's now threatened to wage quit things midstream. Man, 2025's off to a wild start. Then DSP goes on to say that he's not a hateful person. People make that up about him. And then goes on to say, if you use retard in an offensive manner, he will ban you because his business will get in trouble. Then DSP is going to go on to describe how he doesn't like the word retard, and he only uses it as a description word.
No, I don't like using the word. I don't. I use it as a descriptor towards people who act like that because it's the best way to describe how they're... Either you could say mentally stunted, right? Or you could say that their thought has been retarded, meaning it's not normal thought. It's errant behavior. It means that there's something wrong in their head that's making them act in a weird way that a normal person would not act. That is different than saying that someone has the actual medical condition, which I don't do.
Then we have who is Jalen in the kick chat. One sick puppy equals racist for 5+ years equals okay. Chimchar doing light razzin equals banned. Then despite his kick chat saying, I'm not going to support you until our friend is unbanned. And money not coming in. And he had to wage quit Call of Duty and do Q&A. The money is still not coming in. And it's time for a hardcore beg.
Guys, please, let's hit the goal. I did not hit the goal earlier for Dark Souls. We want to hit the goal tonight or double the goal because we want to do DSP Tries It either tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday at the latest, okay? That would be absolutely perfect. My wife wouldn't have to cook on a day when she works. It would be a great new DSP Tries It because we haven't done a fast food DSP Tries It in several weeks. Arby's will be perfect. And remember, you're going to get big rewards with the taste tests. When we hit 9, you get the next to last Sakura box treat. But when we hit 10, it's going to be the last Sakura box treat and the first from the European box together as one, a double reward. And you're going to get Arby's DSP Tries It, okay? So let's make it happen. Let's get it going. Let's get some support right now.
And then, after pressure from the kick chat, he decides he's going to unban Chimchar on the fly, even though he said 5 minutes ago he can't do that. Suddenly, he can do it right away. And then he's going to apologize and say he was mad and he banned this person because of people withholding money from him.
Now, Chimchar, I'm sorry that I banned you. I should have timed you out. That is correct. I was too hasty because I was playing Call of Duty and the adrenaline was pumping, so I apologize that I banned you. I should have timed you out. But please don't do that again. Okay. I know when to admit. I know when to admit that I am wrong. And in this case, I was wrong. I shouldn't have been so hasty. I was upset. I was upset because of the withholding tonight. I was upset because I was playing Call of Duty. Well, not really upset, but the adrenaline was pumping because of Call of Duty. And I was far too hasty. I'm sorry.
Then we have some gameplay from his Call of Duty. Poem Josh. They spray wildly, you say.
I hate this. Go through them once, hits. Go through them twice, hits. No death. They just spray wildly and just hit me once and I die. What a stupid fucking game.
And DSP goes on to say, it's ridiculous that he hasn't even hit $50 yet and wants to get to a respectable number. Then support was low, so you know what that means? DSP's gonna try to put Kick audience versus the YouTube audience to try to start a bidding war. And guess what? It did not work. And then he had Dark Sneed Pimp, the former Dark Side Pimp, gift the membership. Then as soon as DSP gets that, he immediately asked Dark Side Pimp for more money to hit the goal because he didn't hit it on the first stream.
Dank Sneak Pimp, I didn't see it. Dank Sneak Pimp just gifted a sub. I missed it. Okay. So we are up to 16 now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dank Sneak Pimp. Now listen, Dank Sneak Pimp, if you could help me out tonight and hit that goal, I would appreciate it because we didn't hit it earlier today. It's rare that I directly address a particular viewer and ask for a favor. Let me actually get the camera on right now. It's rare that I would address... Oh, I had the wrong thing. Hold on, I wanted this. There we go, the auto follow. See, it's going to be fast to follow me around now. So it's rare that I address a particular viewer, but, you know, I really would like to hit that goal tonight because we didn't hit it earlier. All right? So, you know, if you want to help out a streamer, a blue-collar streamer who works his butt off, all right, I would appreciate that. All right.
Then get ready for one of the most cringiest things you've ever seen, and that's saying a lot coming from Darkside Phil.
Phil, and Phil, and we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance tonight. We're gonna do the... I'm doing a back-to-back dancing with Phil. All right. Very nice. Can we get some support for the silliness tonight? Can we get some support tonight for this ridiculousness, please?
And of course, support was still low. And he said, we are behind a day now, which Poem Josh points out. You hit multiple goals the other day. You're ahead by days if we want to count by that metric, Philip. Then a quote from DSP. I really hope tomorrow we can make up for it. Because the idea was that we do DSP tries it either tomorrow or Wednesday when my wife is working, and now we are way behind. An entire day here. So we have to hit the goals tomorrow. And then DSP goes on to say, his wife told him one day this week she doesn't want to cook, which is why he needs to hit the goals by tomorrow, so he can order food for both of them. Now keep in mind, this is also the week of Valentine's Day, and women like to hint at things. Just saying, Phil. She's saying she wants a day off from cooking. It happens to be the week of Valentine's Day. You don't see the correlation there, Phil? Of course you don't, because you don't love her. Then DSP's going to go on to say he hopes this is not a pattern of people withholding money from him.
All right. Well, guys, I don't know what happened. I am playing this again another time later in the week. This was my big return after a week away, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why there was withholding or whatever. But it is what it is, and I guess we'll try again. Hopefully it doesn't become a pattern, because as you know, I really like Call of Duty. I don't want to take this out of the rotation, so hopefully this will you know.
And now, he's not only publicly shaming people in his streams, in his videos, but now in the video titles. So this is the daily wrap. New snacks, Dark Souls ends, Black Ops 6 returns, but in capital, slow support. Then it looks like the liquidity is running dry on DSP Gaming. So he had 2 days so far with 4 streams, and he got $11, $27, $37, and $13 in tips. But dude, that's the liquidity of my business, dude. And then we have Duty Streams talking to Steven, who's going to interview DSP. Can you ask him through the following? Why is it okay for PPP to call his wife fat, but detractors can't? Ask him who is a better maid, Cat, Panda, or Linda. Ask him about bank leaks. If you need the file, I can send it to you. You can point out dates, transactions, and let him explain. And then Steven replies, DM me dates, transactions, and things he should explain for sure. I'm deep in the bank leaks, finding connections, but you may have connected some dots I missed. I'm starting to think this is not going to be a softball interview. I'm starting to think that maybe Phil's in trouble here. Oh, and I forgot to put this in here. Ask him if his former best friend Rambo broke off the friendship because Phil made a romantic move on him. And then Volo points this out. So this is Steven's profile here. Autism, dad, and caretaker. And then shows off one of his previous videos about a guy begging for money. You sure you want to do this, Phil? Are you sure you want to do this? It's not like this is like Side Scrollers 2.0. There's no way this could be worse than that, right, Phil? Right? And we all know what Smart Guys is all about. Everyone knows it except for Phil. And PPP, or Triple P as DSP calls him, that's what he calls him, is going to explain that straight out, no sugarcoating, about how he's fucking with Phil.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say, Andy. Exactly. Why join then? If you don't fit with that brand, if there's no synergy here, if it doesn't add anything, and you're doing something completely different, why would the audience of those shows watch your show? Because your show's not the Jerry Springer show. It's not Maury Povich. It's not trash TV. It's just like two middle-aged guys like giving ice cold tech takes. But in reality, the show, it's basically like what Smart Guys is, where it's like, it's not about wrestling, it's about fucking with Phil. But Phil doesn't know that. You know, it's the same thing here where Rich doesn't seem to realize the entire show is just about fucking with him.
And that brings us to Tuesday. But first, let's look at some band names in Kick, including Cat, Fat, and Retarded Facts, Mental, Stuntation, Jade, Bald and Ugly Fat Cat Facts, Stunted Valedictorian Real, Back of Head Straight Line How, Jimboga, Cope Laugh the Pain Away Real, and Jade Factually Regarded. Then we have Mayor Charlie in the chat. Has anyone else ever received hateful comments from trolls for supporting Phil's streams? And DSP, literally every person. Charlie, how do you deal with it? DSP, block and completely ignore it. Given any attention at all is exactly what they want. They are no-life losers, and they thrive on getting responses from people they mess with. So give them no response and they go away. Remember, this is the guy who for 15 years has been obsessed with his trolls and talks about them daily. Then we move on to Kick Chat. Giga Gamer, can we get some clarification on the R word? Is it okay to use or not? DSP, sure, if you're so dumb you have to ask that question, then no, you can't use it, lol. Adults just do things they know are right or wrong and don't have to ask. Despite him banning someone for using the word in a wrong sense the day before. So let's see how DSP starts off his show.
Before I start the show, I was trying to get this kid.
So let's hear what DSP has to say about this person that responded to him, and he's now going to respond to that person.
I think what it is, this generation of gamer, and I'm not shit-talking button check here at all, this generation of gamer never experienced the fun times of fighting games and doesn't even know what they're like. Instead, to them, it's just, I want to know all the knowledge. I want a lab. I want all the knowledge. I want a lab. I get zero fun out of having all the knowledge and labbing. Zero. I have never once sat in a training mode, practicing a combo, doing a trial, and said, this is fun times. Do you want to know when I had fun? Playing against people. That's when I have fun. And if I play against a person and during a match I learn something, oh, that beats that. Ooh, look at that. I just made a combo up right on the fly by trying it and it worked. And now I'm going to learn that execution for next time and this and that. Those are the moments of discovery that are meaningful and give you that fucking adrenaline rush. They give you that level of, like, accomplishment. Not, oh, I copied someone else from a video in training mode for 5 hours and then I did it in a match. That gives me zero feeling of accomplishment. But again, it seems like there's a whole generation that this is how they learn fighting games. So to them, that's how they get their big rush. No, sorry. That's not how anyone got a rush back in the day.
He would then also go on to say that they're in it for the money. And if you're making these videos and you're not making money, why are you doing it? It's almost like they're doing it as a passion project, Phil. Something you would not know about. And also remember, he said back in the day, they don't know what they're talking about. Nobody did this. People just did it on their own. They didn't watch videos. They didn't make videos. You sure about that, Phil? So we have MVC3 Basic Tutorial Part 1. And who is this by? Oh, DSP Street Fighter 13 years ago. You lying bitch. And we have Poem Josh. Philip, buddy, you need to get over things not being about your childhood anymore. Holy Christ, man. Move on with this what fighting games used to be shit. You don't play people in real life anymore. Then goes on to say, the FGC segment is just Phil rambling about arcades and how things used to be, while trying to blame the FGC for ruining what he remembers his childhood to be, by making information available to all and monetizing fighting games as a business. It's the usual. Then we have David Davidson. Phil is reacting to Button Check video about his take on making combo guides for fighting games and cannot comprehend that people just like to make these videos to help people out. Then also says, Phil is trying to come off as an expert for fighting games, but does not understand why the FGC might dislike him because he spouts nonsense, that he is correct and everyone else is wrong. Then he went on to compare fighting games to Rocky 3 versus the Russian. Then we have DC. I'd say a tryhard is someone who buys 3 versions of a game, or buys 2 fight sticks, or maybe even a gaming PC to try and get some sort of imaginary edge, only to find out he still sucks donkey dick at the game. That's a fucking tryhard. Money don't fix skill issues. And then Poem Josh brings up an interesting point. Man who just a couple years ago made a special message to the FGC to leave him the fuck alone is now calling for people from the FGC to contact him and talk to him. And then we have a quote from DSP. You know, the guy that claims to be the first of everything, big superstar. He's one of the greatest streamers of all time in his mind. He says, I don't have an ego. And then his whole plan for the Elden Ring beta is to watch other people and see if they get struck down, so he knows if he's safe or not.
If you cannot capture and stream it, alright, then I'm not going to play it. Alright, it sucks because I would love to play it and then tell you guys what I saw, but I gotta work. I have to put out streams that you guys can watch and enjoy and I can make content out of and I can make money on. It's my job. For me to play this beta and not capture and stream it would be essentially the same as saying, well, I'm taking a few nights off just to mess around with the beta, right? I can't, I'm not taking time off of work to do this. If I'm going to take time off of work, I'm going to spend time with my wife. I'm not going to be playing a beta of another game that I can't stream, okay? So I'm just not sure what to do at this point. However, there is a silver lining here, all right? The first slot of the beta is 3 to 6 a.m. on Friday. I'm not playing at 3 to 6 a.m. I'll be sleeping. But what we could do is use that as the litmus test. You know there's going to be people who are going to be streaming and capturing this thing during that time slot, regardless of if you're supposed to be or not. So what we can do is see what happens. Are people who are going to stream and record and upload videos of this beta going to get hit with takedowns and copyright strikes? If they do, then obviously I know I can't play this thing, right? But what if literally every single person plays it, uploads it, and there's thousands of videos of this thing on the internet already? Then it's just a drop in the bucket, and they're not going to hit everyone with thousands of takedowns. So,
and DSP bought a new treat box and says the box is bigger than the last one, therefore the treats must be better inside. And then DSP is going to go on to shame Kick for being freeloaders and not supporting.
You know, Kick talks a big game, but I don't know about Kick. It seems like there's like 4 people on Kick who are supporters and everyone else is just a freeloader. That's what it seems like to me.
Then we have this from Piece of Peace, simply titled, DSP missing Cat's Gunt.
Oh God. Oh great.
You will find no one here. They await the arrival of the almighty Archfiend.
They've gone too
in the
far
land
with this
of
game.
his rebirth.
And where might that be?
That is of no concern to you, Dragon Moon. As it is here that you will die at my hand. I am Elizabeth.
Ruler of blood! Queen of the greater fiends!
She has no stomach.
Then guess what, guys? You're never going to believe this. The support was down yet again. And DSP said, I need to hit the goals on this stream and this evening. Let's not stall. And then support was still low. And DSP starts questioning why people are not giving him money. And he says, herein lies the problem. And he's also demanding $600 on Smart Guys. Because remember, he splits it with PPP, so he would get $300 from that. And he just sat there, arms crossed, trying to get $50, and it never happened. And then another quote from DSP. What I say usually is true. Usually, Phil? Like, how about never, you lying slut? Then we have Meowblock with a quote from DSP. Guys, us not hitting the goal is really messing things up. My wife is going to need to cook now. Though I'm completely fine with only getting $90. It's fine. I'm not complaining. But guys, this is ridiculous that you're not giving me $150. It's been really slow lately. And then if you want to see how bad it got at the end of the stream, well, let's take a look, courtesy of Gout.
All right. So, guys, herein lies the problem. Okay? I'm going to be honest with everyone here. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I want to tell you what the problem is here. Okay? Because we do have a problem now. I'm going to Control-Alt-Delete this fucking thing to get it to close. Because I don't want to spoil the next chapter. Okay. All right. So, herein lies the problem with what just happened. Since once again we didn't hit the goal. All right. Turn off this camera. Since once again we didn't hit the goal. That means that tonight is Smart Guys. If you guys aren't aware, I'm not doing gameplay tonight. The late stream is our Smart Guys commentary show. Okay? It's going to be on DSP Reacts on YouTube, but it's also going to be on my Kick channel. So if you're on my Kick channel, just stay put. But if you're not, if you're watching on YouTube, it will not be on DSP Gaming. It's going to be over on DSP Reacts. Okay? But here's the problem. You know, PPP and I split that show, 50-50. And the way it works is I am counting the show towards our support goals and the like. If the light's going to turn on, there we go. If we get enough for it to count. So, for example, let's say tonight we make $500 on Smart Guys, which I don't think we will, but we have done it before. But let's say, for the sake of argument, we hit that, right? So then I keep half, that's $250, and that is enough because the goal is $150, so we count one towards the goal, okay? So, even if it's a slow night on Smart Guys, chances are I'm likely going to get like a goal. I'm going to hit at least one goal. So I would guess that by the end of tonight, probably I'll be at 9 out of 10, okay? But here's the real problem. Only once ever did the show hit $600, and I think that was week 2 or week 3. I think 1 week we hit $600 in support. So if we happen to do that tonight, that will count for 2 goals, and we will hit 10, and that means tomorrow will be DSP Tries at Arby's, and I'll be doing all these taste tests to end the Sakura box and start the European one. But if we don't make $600 today, all right, that means that tomorrow, probably not doing Arby's, and that's going to screw everything up, okay? Because, quite frankly, if we don't do it tomorrow, DSP Tries it, then it kind of feels like a waste because my wife already had things that she was going to cook for the rest of the week. She's not working Thursday, Friday this week. So I would say if you are going to support, please mount your support for tonight for Smart Guys, all right? You know, anything, again, that you contribute tonight on the late stream will count towards the goal. So please do. I really hope that we can do it tonight. I don't know if we're going to, but I really hope that we can. All right? If we don't, it's not the end of the world, but seriously, like, It just sucks that the momentum has been derailed here. By the way, the streams haven't been bad. Dude, I just made over $100. That's great. Yesterday, I made like 90 on the Dark Souls stream. I'm okay with that, you know? But for us to keep the pacing and to keep the rewards going with the right timing, it's been thrown off now. And twice, I mean, yesterday and today, we've been so close to hitting the goal, and then we don't hit it. I mean, right now, we're so close, and we're not going to do it. It's pretty ridiculous. So, it is what it is. I guess we'll see what happens tonight, but sadly, it's looking like we're probably not doing Arby's. I wanted to, but now it looks like it has to wait until a later day of the week when it kind of sucks because we already had a meal planned and everything. We actually didn't have a meal planned for all 3 days. I guess I erroneously assumed we were going to hit the goals enough to do the DSP Tries It by Wednesday. And now here we are, and we haven't done it. So, well, it sucks. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe tonight will be a better episode of Smart Guys because we're actually going to be starting with wrestling. You know, a lot of people have been complaining recently that they don't like the fact that we've been opening the show with over an hour of messing around and joking around, grill fill segments, that they just want to hear the wrestling commentary. They don't like waiting around all night for it. So maybe tonight it'll go a little better in that regard because we're starting with the wrestling. I don't know. But I guess we'll see. All right. So again, if you can make it tonight, 6:45 p.m., either on the DSP Reacts channel or on this Kick channel, please come back and hang out. If not, tomorrow will be a full day of gaming. Tomorrow it's going to be the first ever Onimusha Warlord stream on the day stream. I can't wait to play it because everyone says it's a great classic, and I played it during the marathon and I loved it. And then tomorrow night I'm going to try to play more Mai Shiranui in Street Fighter 6, although it seems suspect because when I played Street Fighter the last couple of times, every time I play this game online, there's lag. And I don't know if it's my internet or whatever. It doesn't seem like it's my internet considering I played Call of Duty last night and had no problem. I played Monster Hunter and I had no problem. So, all right, everyone. Well, that's it. Enjoy the break. See you tonight for Smart Guys if you can make it. If not, see you tomorrow for another full day of gameplay. All right, guys? And again, thank you to those who did support. Don't feel bad. Don't feel, oh, no, we didn't hit it. It's fine. It's not going to, ruin anything. I'm not breaking the bank here because of it. But, the momentum that we had, I thought for sure we were going to do this by tomorrow. Looks like it didn't happen. So, all right. Enjoy the break. I'll see you all tonight. Peace out.
Then DSP puts this out on Twitter. Tonight, it's Smart Guys. Join me and PPP, and we'll start with wrestling talk tonight to mix it up. So see you then. Of course, what this is Phil's ego is getting bruised. He doesn't want to be made fun of, so he makes up these stories in his head. Oh, people are complaining, I'm being made fun of, blah blah blah. You're just a soft baby back bitch, Phil. Then DSP on DSP Reacts. Well, the people have definitely said they want more wrestling first. We'll see how we do time-wise, but it'll be good to not have to rush the commentary part. Then guess what Phil talked about on the wrestling stream? His neck pain and his pillow. So he didn't want to do Grill Phil, he didn't want to talk about his life, but he talks about his neck pain, almost like he's sympathy begging. And then we have a dumbass quote from DSP. Okay, this word yeet. Isn't it supposed to mean like orgasm or something? Then we have Gamerface Gaming who shows Phil jerking off, and it says, I'm yeeting. Oh my lord. Then remember what he said about going to the doctors and all that bullshit? And all that BS? Well, he's now retconning that, and admitted he would actually see a doctor if his neck was bad enough. So instead of doing Grill Phil, what does PPP and DSP do? They're shaming the whales for not giving them money. What a great wrestling commentary show. Then PPP made a joke about Bret Hart sucking him off, and DSP laughed at that. But if it was a woman, it'd be, oh my god, that's so gross, dude. Then DSP revealed he used to fantasize about becoming a wrestler someday. And DSP says he doesn't get the memes about wrestling anymore because he's been out of the loop. Everything is new and stupid. Then we have JG Win. Triple P, Shin on Iron Chef Sakai was pretty hilarious. It certainly seemed to make DSP uncomfortable since that's one of his last really active whales. Put in the plan we all knew out there of milking ICS and never giving him the mod role seemed to get the nervous DSP laugh. Then we have Piece of Peace with a video titled DSP not trying to look like a creepy pedophile challenge impossible.
We have to address something because I actually had no clue until this week. I swear to God, I had no idea because, again, I'm just starting up with wrestling again. This word, yeet, okay?
Yeet.
Isn't that supposed to mean like an orgasm or something? Like, isn't that what
Is
it's?
that what you think it means?
That's like he's yeeting. He's yeeting all over everyone.
Phil.
And he's going down the aisle with children. Children are there with him, and they're going yee yee.
Dang! Yeeting is when you like fucking whip something, you throw it, you yeeted it. You like fucking. I guess like Phil doesn't know the internet memes live streamer for 15 fucking years, and he thinks Jey Uso is jizzing on children in his entrance.
Well, hold on.
And would you look at that? The liquidity still very low for DSP this week. So $5, $21, $11, $27, $37, and $13. And still asking for money in the video title yet again. FGC Podcast, Ninja Gaiden Endgame, Smart Guys, and 1 goal away. Then we had another update from Steven. Thursday, February 13th, I begin my new series interviewing the most controversial people on the internet. Episode 1 with Darkside Phil. Join us in the live chat for a live, hard-hitting interview with DSP. And then you see a picture of DSP looking constipated, and you have a burger, 5,000 on the calculator, Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and a JPEG of Hulk Hogan in Phil's mind. And then someone kept saying, oh, it's going to be a softball interview, it's going to be soft questions. And Steven himself said, have a little faith, this won't be a softball interview. It may well be the hardest hitting interview he's ever done. And that brings us to Wednesday. And we start off where Otter asked Steven about the interview with DSP, and he says, is it just you and Phil for this? Because a lot of people were worried PPP was going to be a part of this, and it's going to be a giant glaze fest. And Steven, yes, and a whole lot of evidence I'll be asking him about. And then we have Broside Phil, who shows off Phil as the My Pillow guy. And then in the pre-stream chat, DSP is still unsure if he can record or stream the Elden Ring network test. And DSP goes on to say, well, the best test is people playing it from 3 to 6 a.m. Friday, which I won't be doing. If they all stream and upload it and have no issues, then I should be fine for Friday night. And then DSP puts this tweet out, again, begging to hit the goal and give him money for Arby's. Once we hit this final goal, it's a double snack test and DSP tries at Arby's. And look at that now in the video titles. The goal, you giving him money, is more important than the game he's playing. As he starts off, final goal to hit. And then what does he do as soon as the pre-stream starts? He starts begging for money so he can hit that goal so his wife doesn't have to cook, dude. And then Phil was talking about Smart Guys with Ashton. And then Phil was talking about Smart Guys with PPP. And he said, we were jerking each other. Razzing and being jerks to each other. Sure, Phil, that's what you meant. Remember, they talked about Bret Hart sucking each other off. Then DSP decided to do a speed test on his internet. And he has 900 up, 40 down. I'm pretty sure the lag in Street Fighter is because of you, DSP. Remember, that's his business line. Then DSP was so desperate to get money, he started counting down and he demanded when he counts to 0, someone give him a super chat. But guess what? Nobody did it, and it looked very pathetic. And then he was getting very toxic over the Elden Ring network test because people kept saying, you can't stream it, it's in the TOS. And he kept saying, oh, no, I haven't seen anything, you're liars, blah, blah, blah. Send me some stuff. I want to see it. And they would send it to him, and he goes, I'm not clicking on that. Somebody's probably trying to fuck me over. Make it make sense, Phil.
Listen, all right, I'm gonna do everyone a favor, all right? You ready for this? Now on, unless you actually have facts to back up something you're gonna say in my chat, I want you to do something, okay? Shut the fuck up. No one cares. You're gonna sit there and say, but I know this, but I know that. Okay, present your evidence of what you're saying. Well, go to Google. No, stupid. You're the one who said the dumb fucking thing. Now you've got to back it up with facts. You don't just get to say whatever you want. Oh, well, everyone knows this. Why do they know it? Where did they get the information from? Oh, I don't know. Well, then you're a moron because you went with the group mentality instead of having the evidence. Present the fucking evidence. or shut the fuck up. One or the other. Stop wasting everyone's time. That's all it is. You want attention. You want the attention. Oh, look at me. I know. You don't know anything. You probably don't know how to tie your own fucking shoes. Your mother probably wipes your ass for you when you go to the bathroom. All right? You don't know shit. So stop wasting everyone's time, notably mine, because my time's way more fucking valuable than yours, that's for sure. Shut up. Okay. There's absolutely nothing on the website about it, as I suspected. It doesn't exist. Okay? I'm not stupid. It's not real.
And then this is straight from the TOS. Can I do live streaming or live action during the network test? Answer. Live streaming or live is not allowed due to the fact that the game data is still a work in progress. There you go, Phil. How hard was that? And then someone questioned Phil. Why do you need $150 to order Arby's? And unfortunately, they brought common sense into it. It's like, oh, if you're going to spend $70 on Arby's, why don't you just raise $70? And he went off about how they're a fucking moron, you're a troll, you don't know what you're talking about. Then DSP kept yelling, how big is 25 centimeters? And of course, right after that, made a joke about his penis. Then DSP tries a cringe joke to get people to tip him so he can get Arby's.
Meanwhile, the guy at Arby's is waiting for the order. The guy at Arby's is literally waiting for the order to come in. And I can't do it because we didn't get support this morning. Right? We got no super chats, no memberships, only one sub. So how are we supposed to have the Arby's order placed? When I'm sitting here on the Elden Ring website wasting my time with a bunch of idiots who are saying that something's here that doesn't exist. Right?
Then someone asked him, are you going to do the state of play and react to it? And he said, we are not doing the state of play. Why do I have to keep repeating myself? We never do live reacts, even though in the past he's done live reacts. He just doesn't want to say he doesn't get much money during them is a real reason. Then look at that face. He's looking at the tips. He's looking at the super chats. He's looking at the memberships. He wants those Arby's, dude. You're going to force him to eat his wife's cooking? What kind of dirty damn troll are you? And then this clip is absolutely pathetic. It shows you what he thinks of his wife and of his audience and how pathetic he puts himself first over everyone else. And money is on his mind all day, every day, number one topic.
All right, guys, seriously, let's just do it right now, please. Let's hit the goal. You guys are teasing me here. My wife downstairs wants me to order the food. And I said, well, I can't because we didn't hit the goal yet. She's like, yeah, but I'm hungry. I want to eat. I said, well, we can't because I didn't hit the goal yet. And she says, well, I need to know if I need to cook or if we're ordering food. And I prefer to order food and not cook. And I said, all right, but we have to hit the goal. So I came back and I'm waiting here to hit the goal. All right? This is ridiculous. No, she's not eating snack pizza. She hasn't eaten all day besides breakfast. She's been working all day. She just got home. Her day of work. We want to have Arby's. So we need Arby's right now. All right? You understand?
Then we have this in chat. Casual viewer of the tube. The point here is that you seem to care more about money than the game. Hence, why you keep interrupting gameplay. And damn you dirty trolls, try and chargebacks again. Don't you know, if you do chargebacks, that's illegal. The cops will throw you in jail for $50, dude.
So FYI, this DeMarcus Cousins guy is literally trying to charge me back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tips, each of which are $1 to $2. He literally just issued them all right now, all at the same time. It's the same guy. I mean, they're all tiny transactions. Like I said, they're all like $1, $2 transactions. So basically, they're trying to commit fraud, mass fraud against me. It's too bad for them, though, because I'm probably going to fight them. And I'm probably going to get them into just as much trouble as I got that Fetch Fines guy. Remember I told you, it was this guy Fetch Fines. And he was tipping me over a period of time. And then, all of a sudden, he charged me back $50, right? He says in the message, just listen to this. He goes in the message, I meant this to be $5. He went through his 50, so I want my money back. So number one, I provided all the information to PayPal properly. I said, here's where it came through. Here's where I shouted it out. And then I said, there's no protection against a typo. It doesn't exist. If this guy actually was trying to say, you know, he actually typed the wrong thing, I was like, I don't care. Number one, there's no protection against that. Number two, if that was the case, he'd be asking for a partial refund, not for all of his money back. Therefore, this is a fraudulent transaction. Not only did they win the case in my name, they're actually investigating the guy right now for fraud. So he actually has investigators going against him, and he might not only lose whatever credit card or account he used to pay, he might actually go to jail, because you can't just lie in a blame on PayPal. That's actual fraud. It says right on it, you're committing a crime if you're lying. So this guy might actually go to jail because he's an idiot. So now we got this guy who just hit me with like $1, $2 chargebacks for like 10 of them over the last like week or whatever. And he, you know, he really thinks he's going to get away with it. Well, guess what? I'm going to fight it. I'm going to provide all the information of all these things that you said on the stream that I actually shouted out, every single one. I'm going to give him all your info. I'm going to give him links to my streams, and I'm going to say you're full of shit. And you're probably going to get investigated too, and you might go to jail. I've had enough of these people who think that they can fuck around on the internet. I'm not playing anymore, okay? We all saw.
Then he was doing a brand new game. During his resurgence, everyone loves him. Yet he only had a little bit over 200 viewers watching him. That's kind of weird, isn't it? King Philip. Then we have Piece of Peace. David has to go now. His planet needs him.
So literally, I'm not even kidding you, right? This idiot troll says, why does everything have to be about money? Do something besides eating or drinking. Yeah, I literally just said I would do the shaving event. You can't make up how stupid these people are. Wow. Okay, what a dunce. Okay, anyway. What are we doing? Oh, look.
Then it was getting late, and DSP was worried he's not going to get his Arby's. Poem Josh. He said he only had an hour to hit the goal to get Arby's. An hour and 30 minutes passes before he got his goal amount, but still ordered Arby's. Pay attention, Dents. This is how he works you. And then he finally got his Arby's. And we have Otter, at K Styles, Yeadon downstairs right now. Fur. And look how happy he is to eat that burger from Arby's. Gamerface Gaming, this is your reward for giving him $1,500. And look at that, just for DSP, 3 different sandwiches from Arby's. We have Banana Jones, BDSP, no thank you. Order shit with DoorDash, cry the food from DoorDash is expensive. This dude is terminally retarded and should be put in an asylum. Also Banana Jones, who eats like this? It's a strip of bacon. You don't need to specifically position it between your teeth like it's a puzzle piece, fitted into a puzzle. And you see Phil looking like he has a stroke. Then this is what DSP calls a thick burger. Looks pretty regular to me. Then look at the pig just absolutely disgustingly stuffing his face. Gamerface Gaming. Funny thing is, this is going to be evidence presented at a bankruptcy court in the near future. Then DSP looks puzzled at this burger and the toppings. And look at that. That's $1,500 worth of entertainment right there, dudes. And he's doing this weird thing with his elbows where he's like stretching them out and like they're up in the air as he eats. He truly is an alien. And then we got some weird faces here too. Especially in the right hand one where his eyes are going in 2 different directions. Then we have Phil with his open mouth and also his disgusted tasted mouth. More of DSP with his elbows up. Then we have Phil smelling the food and yeeting as he eats it. And look at that, look at that. He looks like he yeeted all over himself. We got DSP showing off his mangled yellow teeth. Now if you thought the pictures of his elbows in the air as he ate was weird, let's see a video of him actually doing this. Then DSP claimed he spent $70 to feed him and his wife. And as DSP Eats It points out, the fish and roast beef are 2 for $6.99. And the BBQ bacon cheeseburger is $8. What was the other $50 spent on, DSP? Well, have you seen the size of cat? That's probably where it went, plus DoorDash fees. Then DSP is going to go on to claim that Arby's is healthier than fried food.
I see bacon hanging off of the sandwich. In fact, there's extra bacon on the sandwich. Mmm. That was really good. That was how I like bacon. Crispy, salty, delicious. I hate when you go to a fast food place and the bacon is rubbery and chewy. That was supremely crispy. Here's another piece that fell off. Look. Mmm. Wow. Arby's has good bacon. That's super good, man. All right, well, the bacon's good. However, I'm going to say this. It's messy. You can see the barbecue sauce is going everywhere.
Then DSP decided to do clown mode for more money. So this was not too bad. Then he starts moving his stroke mouth and using his hands. And he just lost his damn mind. And then guess what? You'll never believe this, guys. He played Street Fighter again. And it was the same tired, old excuses of why he lost. I know. It's surprising, right? Then we have Skenzy in the chat here. Laughing my ass off. This guy really told his wife she couldn't eat until he hit the tips goal. Anyone who gives this guy money rides a wheelchair. And this was funny because people were fucking with Phil about his mic levels. And it got him pissed off. Like pissed off.
So what are you guys talking about with this mic? There's literally nothing wrong with the mic through OBS whatsoever. The mic is exactly where it was before. What is wrong with my mic tonight? You tell me what is going on. Every filter is on. I've turned no filters off whatsoever. What the fuck are you talking about? Really, I want to know what people are talking about. Every single filter is set to exactly the same as it was before. Nothing has been touched. No drivers have been updated. Nothing has happened. So what the fuck is wrong with the mic? People complaining about the mic, saying the mic sounds bad over and over. I'm like, what are you talking about? The mic is fine, everyone said. So how can people on one side be saying the mic is perfectly fine, but other people are saying it's quiet, and other people are saying that it's clipping? Number one, it's maxed. The mic is literally maxed out. It's hitting yellow levels every time, and it's actually auto-adjusting to keep me in the yellow rather than the red. No, here's what it is. I made the game louder. So now if I do this, okay, now you're going to hear my mic better, but you're not going to hear the game as well. You don't understand the difference between the mic is cutting out and having issues, or I just made the game slightly louder? You don't understand it. Oh my God. You don't understand the distinct difference between the two?
Then we have this message, Kino Kick Fan on YouTube. Low support, pattern gameplay, dropped inputs. I feel like we're in for a reman here shortly because step it up chat and don't withhold. Then we have the Drew Corporation. With the new goal system, there is no pressure to hit the goals. If we don't hit it, it's no biggie. He only puts pressure on us in extreme circumstances, like he's really hungry. And every Street Fighter stream, you know what happens. Raw Phil gets in there and cooks the bacon, dudes.
Well, that's it. That's all it takes. It's all it fucking takes. Now it's Cammy, I'm gonna lose. There's no way you can beat a Cammy. I'm telling you, I'm done. I am not gonna beat this Cammy, and it's all over. That's it already. Right on the get-go. Just do a random Hail Mary, and it works. I can't do anything. Now I'm in the corner. Break the throw. Can't do it. I had to guess. I guess throw. She wins. Can't do anything. Dude, it's the same exact gameplay. Every Cammy does it, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's unstoppable. The throw can't be stopped. I went for anti-air. Apparently, I was too far away. Jab beats me. It's so great. What is going on? Dude, it's over. She just keep pressing punch. Again, you didn't beat me. You literally just do a standing punch, and the standing punch stops everything. It stops all my normals. If I jump, it hits me as I land, and you get a free combo. She can literally drive rush every single move she has into a free giant.
Then DSP with a huge quote here. This game massively favors people pressing buttons. Imagine that, Phil, in Street Fighter. And would you look at that? A lot of anonymous tips just happen to come in. At the same time, Iron Chef Sakai stopped supporting. Kind of funny how that happens, eh? Then at the end of the night, DSP put this out. Today, I returned to form. With DSP tries it, Arby's, which means, aka, I returned to form because people gave me money. And that brings us to Thursday, the biggest day of the week. We had one stream from DSP, and then we had the interview. First off, we have Otter. Holy moly, has no one ever spotted this before? And apparently the 1651, the meme of how much DSP paid for the iTunes credits, reversed, is also the day he jerked off on stream. It's written in the stars that DSP was going to jerk off on stream. Then we see a pre-stream chat, and look at that, Phil all by himself, and there's 12 people there. Wow. That is just sad and pathetic for a resurgence, dude. Then we have Poems Josh with a factual observation. Notice how we went from pushing Seeking the Truth with pushing June the King to It Doesn't Matter What I Do or Say with Kino Casino. Then DSP is trying out a new grift. Whatever the scheduled game is, if you give him $150, he'll change it to another game. And today, if you give him $150, he'll change from Black Ops to Street Fighter 6. But then follow that up by saying Street Fighter 6 is a shit game and not worth playing. And would you look at that? The next DSP tries it is going to be McDonald's. And DSP said, I haven't had this in a very long time. And then a viewer said, well, you had it a few weeks ago. And he said, oh, I guess I haven't had it in a few weeks. And then we found out why he chose McDonald's. Because he got 2K views the last time he had McDonald's. And then people were still trolling him with the mic settings. So DSP played with microphone settings, asked for viewers to give feedback on whether it sounded better or worse. Then instructed them to tell him everything was fine, and to tell him he didn't need to adjust anything. Well, Phil, that's great feedback, especially definitely not a cult. And then the next marathon that DSP wants to do is Five Nights at Freddy's. Remember the games he said, childish, meme streamers, they're not scary? Well, he'll do it for money. And he'll drink booze too. Then it looks like Kinda Sav kinda got a mention here. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
I look sharp today. Well, thank you, Sav Spit on Me. What a name. Thank you for that. I appreciate the compliment. I'm glad you think I look good today. That's very nice of you.
Then DSP was really desperate for money, so he decided to show his socks and his feet so Iron Chef Sakai would hit the goal for him. And now Jinbrain is making him retcon things he watched in this previous week and completely change the source material to whatever he's made up in his own head.
From Walrus Nipples, has Button Check responded to my video? I have no idea. I literally have no clue. I only ever knew that he made a video about me because someone told me and sent it to me. I don't pay attention. I'm busy with my own shit. So whether or not he or anyone else in the fighting game community has responded, I don't know. I'm going to guess no, because as you heard, the tone in that video is, oh, well, even though DSP sometimes has intelligent and valid points, we don't care because he's DSP and everyone hates him. Which is probably the most ignorant, fucking, uninformed take you could have on the internet for anything, right? Like, just ignore someone who may actually have expertise and knowledge and experience because we just don't like him because the internet likes to make fun of him.
But that was not the only retcon that he did, as apparently he now says it's the move to Washington that made people hate him because they saw how well he's doing and they started hating him. Then in this video here, he's going to try a snack box, but then for some reason, he starts sniffing the spoon.
And there is the world's tiniest spoon. Transparent. This is ridiculous. I don't know how.
And of course, when there's Asian people on the screen, DSP has to be very cringe about it.
I keep having the same dream. A horrible dream.
That I'm Japanese. Oh no, I am.
Where monsters invade our world.
And DSP always says he's grateful for everything he gets. And it doesn't matter if you give him $1 here or $100, he's grateful for everything. Well, we have a quote here from DSP. If you keep tipping me $1, I'm never going to hit the goals. You'll understand that, right? Then DSP does this weird thing. So he has this candy bar. And he wants to know how many calories are in it. And what does he do? He turns his body instead of turning the candy bar. And says, I wonder how many calories this has. And as Otter points out, the man who ate 3 burgers on stream yesterday. Then in a weird moment even for DSP, he says he can't enjoy Japanese treats, but he's gonna love European treats because he's a white guy.
Seems like it's way more up my alley. Then again, I am a white guy, so I have European roots, so I probably would like things from, you know, Turkey better than things from Japan. It's more culturally appropriate to me.
Okay, so let's see how Call of Duty went for DSP.
All right, guys, come on, please support the stream. I'm trying to put on some entertaining gameplay for you all here today with the sniper rifle, which is not my forte. I'm trying to learn. Please support the stream. Let's hit the goal for today, for this one, all right? I'm not streaming again tonight, so please, let's hit the goal on this stream. Don't make it a dud day for me. Let's go. Let's do it. Every little bit helps. Like, seriously, let's get a sub on Kick. Let's get our first membership. We have no memberships on YouTube today. Let's get a membership on YouTube, all right? Let's go. Let's go. Come on. They all spawned. Oh, one just came over here. I tried to fire and it wouldn't fire because I was already dead, but the game didn't show my death yet. It was very odd. I tried to fire the gun and it like would not fire. Like it jammed, but that's what happens when you're already dead.
Then DSP declared he's excited for Halloween month. Then this is an instant where DSP will find one person in his chat that agrees with him and use that as a base that he's right. There could be 99 people saying no. As long as there's one person saying yes, DSP will believe him. We got Rob Bennett. Majority of chat, you can't stream the network test. Phil, show evidence. Shows evidence. Phil, I don't accept your evidence. Random chatter, there are no restrictions on streaming the network test. Phil, great, I can't wait to play it. And again, another picture of Phil hating his life and hating his job. Then DSP showed off his duster to clean his office. And look at that, he tried this candy bar, and he looks so comfortable putting a long, thick thing near his mouth. Then a quote from DSP. Guys, can we get me $200 today? I'm sitting here trying to learn how to snipe, and it would be appreciated. Then we have this in Kick Chat. You will be found, withholders. Maybe they will support and not withhold. Good job, everyone. Fuck withholders. A lot of withholding tonight. Then we have Total Wine Mama. Not only does DSP try to emulate PPP's speech patterns, he also speedrunning getting PPP's waistline. Then a factual observation from Poem Josh. 2022. I don't accept things from viewers. If you send me things, it goes right in the trash. 2025. Send me an email if you want to send me things so we can work it out behind the scenes. Then DSP's going to explain why he's going into this interview. And man oh man, this is going to backfire in a way you cannot even comprehend, Phil.
It just sucks. Like, not only is this a slow stream, but now I'm not streaming tonight. You know, I said, hey, I'll do something to help out somebody else who wants to interview me and hopefully give them like a view boost, right? I said, I'll do this. I'll go on a nice interview tonight to be nice. So I hope that it does work out and it ends up being a good one. I do. But it sucks that I'm skipping my own stream to do this.
If you still think this is going to be a softball interview, we have Steven in the chat here, the host. I will set the goal closer to showtime. If we hit the goal, I'm going to eat 4 RB sandwiches, put on a special belt, hat, and vest, and make you all watch me eat. I may even eat cake if we can hit the bonus stretch goal. And that brings us to the interview. And man, oh man, we have a lot to cover here today. So the first thing we're going to look at is Steven calls out DSP for begging. And not only that, it appears he brought receipts with him throughout this interview. And he asks Phil, how many times do you beg during a stream? And then pulls up Frondy the Detractor and goes over his channel. And my God, it is amazing.
Yeah, because I understand why people are like, you know, saying this stuff. And I thought they're got to be exaggerating. But then I found this Ferroni the Tractor. I'm sure it's what you would describe as one of your detractors.
I mean, they call themselves the Tractor. They have it in their name.
When you were playing Dark Souls, you asked for money 62 times. When you were playing Light Razzing, I don't know, he makes plays on words on the games you were playing. You asked for money 85 times. Mm-hmm. You tested a mic, and then you begged for money 31 times while testing the mic. And this one is just greed mode, beg count 58. Successful streamer begged 78 times. And I'm not going to play these videos because they're very disparaging. They like make you have a huge head and try to make it funny. Popeyes felt it, beg count 100. So to eat Popeyes, you begged for money 100 times. Flight Simulator, you begged for money 111 times. Call of Duty, you rage quit 9 times. They clip. And I got to tell you, I watched these with a counter going, he can't ask for money 101 times in one stream. They clip them all and they put them together. I don't know what beg more is, but you ask for money 101 times. We've got Wife is Strange, beg count 33. Mm-hmm. Life is Strange, I guess they meant.
Yeah.
Nightly Kingly begs count 65. Shadow of something 77 times. WWEC Ban World beg count 88 times. 145 begs in this stream. And all this person does, Phil, is go through your streams and then clip all the times you ask for money. And then they put it together, and I guess they make it kind of funny. I wasn't really like amused by this. But I'm just wondering, like, do you realize that you ask for money that many times in one stream?
Well, first off, I've never watched any of this content, to make it clear. I don't actually know how truthful that is. I
went through with a counter, Phil. He's right. I mean, unless he's like AI, he's got like CIA level AI to make these clips of you asking for the money.
All I'm saying is I'm answering this question in perspective of I have no clue if anything that a detractor puts on their channel about me is true or not. All I can ask is from my perspective, right? I haven't seen that content. I can't really respond to it. But no, I mean, I do ask for contributions basically as soon as I start my podcast. And if we're talking about how I did the day before, I'll mention how we did, and I'll say, hey, let's hit the goals today. We have some goals in place. Here's the rewards coming up. If we have a reward that's scheduled, we'll talk about that during each podcast. I'll mention it several times for sure.
Well, this is why I brought up the autism, because I don't know if you know this, but people with autism have like perceptual problems and social problems, and they don't recognize social cues. And like, that's what made me think that maybe you're on the spectrum, because a neurodivergent person or a person on the spectrum might not realize that they were asking that many times. And that this is what I'm saying. People with autism also have a problem with social norms. Mm-hmm. So like, the social norm is ask for support once or twice a show. And I think most show hosts would agree with that. If you make 4 or 5, I don't know, but 88 times, 122 times, 56 times in one stream, it's a little bit extreme, and I think that's why your detractors go after you so much, because nobody. I'm not aware of anybody else. And this is what I did. I went to Twitch and I just started watching some random gaming streamers, and I got links from people to watch, and I watched from the beginning to the end. And over on Twitch, at least, most of the gaming streamers, hey, thanks for the support, gift some subs, here's our goal tonight. And a lot of them didn't even have goals, but they would read the gifts or the tips or the cheers or whatever. But they don't ask so many times. So I think that's why, because it's just too much. You don't think it's too much?
Let me put it this way. The people who have issue with how much I ask are the people who benefit the most by bringing it up. It's that simple. People who make this kind of toxic content, an entire channel dedicated to counting how many times I ask for donations.
I agree. That's a little obsessive to count and to clip every single time that you ask for money together. But I have to say, Phil, regardless of whether you call them a detractor, they're factually accurate.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's the problem. They're factually accurate.
Here's the thing. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a perception. Some people think it's a problem.
Don't you think some of the stuff is cringe, though? Like, for example,
of course it's cringe. It's meant to be cringe.
It's meant to be
over the top and cringe.
Phil,
that's the whole idea.
Was it last night or the night before that you were like, we got to hit this goal because I don't know if I can order Arby's
That's
tonight.
right. We got to get the Arby's the next day. You got to get it. My wife's coming home from work. She doesn't want to cook. Let's get the Arby's.
This is kind of a deflection, though. But don't you see how, like, what if I said, like, look, I would consider this cringe. Like, what if I was on my show and I said, I'd like to order pizza for my kids because I don't feel like cooking, but I need to get $50 in super chats first.
Okay.
I would never do that because I would think that is so cringy.
That's different. Do you know the context of me actually ordering Arby's? Because it's not me just ordering dinner for my family. That's actually not what it is.
No, then you do the review of 3 sandwiches. Come on.
Right. Yeah, which is an ongoing series I've been doing over a decade. And I actually canceled the series, and people gave me so much crap for like 5 years. These people were like, dude, why are you not doing the show anymore? We love DSP Tries It. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm doing well. We'll bring it back. If we hit goals
I think that could be popular. Who's that? There's a real nerd.
And then Steven brought up his bankruptcy. But what Phil didn't know was that Steven also has a degree in finance for an accountant, and his wife also worked in the fraud department for a major bank. And well, it got very interesting when he brought up his $5,000 a month monthly expenses.
So one of the questions I got most as well is that people, and I think this is again just a misunderstanding. I got so many people sending me messages going, how can he say his expenses are this much? Mm-hmm. So this is just from the bankruptcy filing. 1 month you're saying $9,000 is in expenses, the next month $5,000, the next month $3,100, the next month $4,400, the next month $43,000, $49,000, $5,200. You know, people are saying there's no way you could have that much in business expenses. But is this a combination of both business and personal expenses?
See, here's the thing, and this is why you have to understand when people start to bring this up. Anything that I say about this publicly at all, these people will take what I say, twist it, and then try to get me in trouble. All right. So I've been through this rodeo before. I don't mind you bringing this up. I'm going to tell you exactly from my perspective about what I think about this. Okay. So when I'm going through the bankruptcy, okay, I have to provide all the information that they want. And boy, did they ask for a lot. They asked for everything.
I've been to bankruptcy hearings on the plaintiff side.
So you know all about how detailed it can be. Let me, to give you perspective here, I was told both by my bankruptcy attorney and the judge involved, that was the weirdest, most complex bankruptcy they ever had to do because my detractors kept messaging the judge. Okay, like every 5 seconds, they were messaging the judge saying, "Well, did you know he has this? Did you know he made this? Did you?" So the judge is like, "What the hell is this? Like, I'm just trying to do the bankruptcy, and I got 1,000 people on the internet harassing me for this shit. I don't even know what this means. Just listen to this. I know this is a little side. You'll get a laugh out of this stuff. So when you do the bankruptcy, this has to be online. So this is public information. What you're seeing right here, you can find this online. One of the things that happened was the initial filing didn't list my cat Jasper as a financial asset. Okay. Why? Because my bankruptcy attorney didn't do it. Okay. It's that simple. Now, normally in any bankruptcy proceeding, no one would give 2 shits. But my detractors mass messaged the judge saying, Phil is lying to you and committing fraud to get his bankruptcy through. He has a cat and he didn't tell you. So
that's kind of petty.
And the judge had to hold a special meeting with myself and my attorney asking us why we didn't do this. Are we trying to scam them? So when this happened, the bankruptcy got blown into the most complex shit. I had to go through line by line by line of all the things that I spent, what it went to, you know.
I know, but Phil, with respect, like, this is a very simple question. When you're listing these expenses here, is that your total expenses, personal and business together, or just business expenses?
I actually don't know, because that's what my bankruptcy attorney put together for me properly per the law in Washington State. I don't know.
Can I talk to him about this and get some answers on that so that everybody can calm down about this?
I mean, I doubt it, but
well, if you give your permission, he can talk to me.
Let me put it this way: everyone involved in this bankruptcy was already mass harassed by a zillion people. And this
I'm not going to harass anybody. I'm going to ask him that very simple question that I asked you. Is this expenses your business or your personal or both?
My take on that would be that's probably what they considered whatever is qualifiable as the expense, whatever to qualify for the bankruptcy. You know what I mean? Like what is quantifiable as expenses for whatever they needed for this document? Because I don't even know what this document is. Actually, because I don't know how bankruptcies work.
Well, it's from your bankruptcy filing. It's public information. That's where I pulled it from.
Right, but I don't know. Like, what is this form meant to measure personal expenses? Is it meant to measure business expenses? I don't even know. Like,
well, see, that's why I think there's some confusion then, because the people that are upset about this are saying, like, for example, I got a message, and I'm for sure paraphrasing, but somebody sent me a message and said, I was watching Darkside Phil during this, and I know that in this time frame he didn't buy, for example, 2 new gaming PCs, backdrops, microphones, or anything to improve his show. So how does he have $9,000 worth of expenses? His show didn't change at all over this 6-month period.
And that's the thing. I don't know what's considered an expense. I don't know if that's business or personal. For example, this is what I mean. I can't speak to it because if I speak to it, they're going to clip me and say, see what Phil said, and they're going to try to get me in trouble, right? But to give you some perspective here, this room that I'm broadcasting out of right now, okay, is only used for work. So therefore, this room,
mine
for
too,
tax purposes and all of that, for somehow it's considered either an expense or a write-off. I don't know. Does that factor in to this?
Well, let me help you a little bit, because my wife is an accountant.
Okay,
good. Boy,
maybe we'll finally get some answers, because
I don't know.
Is she
strict? But there's some other confusion. So some of the other confusion is that, and this is a simple question too. Are you writing off like your whole mortgage payment as a business expense? Are you writing off?
I don't think so.
All
no,
of
that's
your
not
utilities?
Possible. It would only,
so
to my knowledge, it would only be.
You can only write off a percentage of your household expenses because you're just using that one room.
Should I be very clear here? I'm not writing off anything. I have professionals who do my taxes, and it's not H&R Block or one of these, fly-by-night bullshit companies. It's a real tax attorney firm.
Oh, I know. They're on the bank league. I check them out.
I pay tons of money for them to do my taxes every year, and they do them right, 100% up and down, left and right. They do a great job. So I don't know what's written off and what's not. I don't know. I can't answer those questions.
Get to another one of these.
And then Steve's going to get on him about his e-bagging and how cringe it is. He also asks, do you ham it up? Is this a joke? And DSP's going to go, oh yeah, I ham it up. It's a joke, blah, blah, blah. So when he's pounding like, guys, we have to hit this. Guys, come on. I'm going to be fucking pissed if we don't hit the goal. It's all a joke, dude. He doesn't really mean it.
Because in some of this stuff, it's kind of, like I said, it's cringy, right? Like,
Sure. Purposefully so, yes.
You're saying that you do that on purpose? You make it cringy
absolutely.
on purpose?
It's hammed up. It's hammed up on purpose. Do you really think it's a big deal if I had Arby's on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday? It doesn't matter. It's just, you ham it up. You make people get motivated to do it. That way we get it, right? As opposed to, if everything's never a big deal and you don't hype anything up, then who's going to have incentive to ever care about it? I'm a crowdfunded individual. You got to hype up these events. We're going to do a DSP Tries It. We're going to do a marathon.
Today, some people say that you have this like bloated sense of self-importance, like the money's just yours. You earn it, you deserve it. I want you to react to this and tell me the truth. Okay. You don't think that this is too much?
If you like my content and if you can support the streams today, please do. In particular, I absolutely need help with tips today. If you tip me today and I hit the goals today, I'm in a good position for tomorrow. If I stream today and I hit none of the goals, I'm fucked. And essentially, I'll be going grocery shopping. I guess we're going to But eat a lunch meat sandwich,
sorry.
you know, for our day off. Can't even have a meal out or nothing because, you know, this is the situation I'm in, and it fucking sucks.
All right, so look, this is
Great.
to
That's
me
great.
to me
fucking
that's
funny.
that's too much. But don't you understand that some people? All right, so if your position is that you're doing this on purpose to make it cringy and you're laughing about it's a joke, but some people in your live chat really don't know that you're joking, and they might think that you won't have.
No.
Phil, you
No,
basically
no,
say
no,
this
no,
is
no, no.
great. It's such a grift, but it's grifty. You
This is-
basically say, like, if I
Listen.
don't get tips, I can't buy groceries, and I may be subjected to have to eat a lunch meat sandwich on my
That's
day
right.
off. I won't even be able to get takeout food.
And who wants to do that on their day off? When I'm
But
in
you're
6
putting
days a
that
week
on the
full-time?
audience. You're putting it on the audience.
First off,
so.
I'm trying to remember that specific situation because I don't actually remember what the heck that situation was. If you're wondering why I'm saying tips, it's because tips I get immediately, so I could actually spend it on something right away. Like, for example, you're getting a ridiculous amount of super chats, but you, as you know, you don't get those right now. You got to wait like a month and a half before you get anything.
No, I gotta wait until the 21st, and I don't live paycheck to paycheck. And
That's
and
right.
This is,
and I will.
are you going to commit to not asking for personal expenses for 6 months?
Sure, because I don't do it now. Again,
Okay.
I don't
All right,
ask for
I'm
personal
gonna
expenses
hold you
now.
to that. I'll be checking Pig Go every week.
You will. Now, here's what you got to
Keywords:
do, though.
groceries, mortgage, day off.
That's fine.
You can't
I
ask
don't-
for money for your day off either. You can't ask for money for your day off because that's a little cringe, Phil.
Steve was then blown away about the amount of people DSP bans on a particular day and saying it's insane and how there's no free speech, and absolutely goes after Phil, saying he's trying to censor everything.
Disgruntled users of yours who were banned,
Okay.
and many of them said that they used to send you a lot of money, and some of them even sent me the receipts that they indeed were big contributors of yours. Do you, as a show host, believe in free speech on your show?
Free speech, as long as it's not insulting to the point of being personal, or that it's not doxing, that it's not something dangerous.
Okay, but
and
this
also
is-
insulting each other in the chat or other viewers, right? You shouldn't be getting into arguments or quarrels with other people, derailing the chat. Because, you know, let's say, for example, I'm doing a stream of, I don't know, Final Fantasy, and you go to the chat, and people are literally sitting there arguing with each other, insulting each other. What are you doing? I'm
but
playing Final Fantasy. Why are you doing that in my chat?
How many people are you banning, though? Because, look, I was checking the Kick chat logs, and I only did one of the mods here. They banned 1,200 users permanently. Do you see that?
Yeah. Do you know why?
Wait! I'm still scrolling, Phil.
No,
you
this
guys
is
banned
easy.
1,200 users. 1,200 users.
This is easily explained.
And I was able to find some of the people who contributed to you on this list of permanently banned users. So when I hear you saying, "Oh, I got to get money or I can't pay my bills," and then I see that there's users that are giving you money that you permanently banned because they said something you didn't like, I don't know. And in your defense, I have a total free speech zone here. I don't ban anybody generally unless they say something really crazy like racist or, you know, whatever. But there's 1,200 users from just one of your mods permanently banned. Do you know how many you've banned since, let's say, December?
No, I don't count, but do you understand that those aren't real accounts? You know those are bot accounts, right?
Well, some of them are, but some of them are people
Most
that have
of those
contacted
are
me.
bot accounts. That is.
I don't know, Phil. I had a couple of phone calls with some of these people.
That's fine.
It
No,
seemed
no.
real
listen,
to me.
It's not everyone is a bot account. I'm telling you, the vast
The
majority of those are the
Feltoning,
same
that sounds like somebody that
the
I've
vast
seen.
majority. Here's the problem: is you can just make an account, jump in there, and start spamming, and then you get banned, and you're in there in 5 seconds with another account. I mean, you can talk to any moderator on my streams, and they'll say it's a nightmare with the amount that these harassment antics go. They'll come in and make. I mean, now you would think, oh no normal person would do that. These people are not normal. These people go in there some days with 50 accounts. You ban one, next one, next one, next one, next one. Some of them, like I'll give you an example right now. You ready? Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I'm looking right now. What I'm doing is I've gone to my main channel page of my Kick account, and I'm trying to see. I can't see. I'm stupid. I can't see that far. I should open it up on my laptop. They make accounts that are insulting nonstop, and they'll just wait. I can see when they make a new account, and if it's an insult, The name is the insult. They don't even have to say a word. The name itself is an insult towards myself. Like, it'll be like, you know, Phil's fat wife 204, ban. Phil, you know, the IRS is going to arrest Phil. Ban.
But 1,200 in a space of a couple months, really?
We're talking, I'm not kidding you.
I haven't permanently banned or hidden 4 users in 4 years.
Yeah,
so
it's dozens a day. That's the level of harassment, is dozens a day. These people just don't let up. They're out of their minds.
Okay. But do you accept any responsibility for why you piss people off to that extent that they're willing to come in and troll you? Because, you know, my father had this saying, Phil, and it was called high on the hog. And there's a perception that you're living a pretty great lifestyle and you're begging your audience to provide that great lifestyle for you. And then, so that pisses people off. And they're like, why should this guy get all this money? And 3 Arby's sandwiches if I didn't, you know?
That's right. And that is called jealousy, right? That's exactly what that is. And I understand it. 1,000,000% I do. I get it. All right. There's people who I'm jealous of too, who I think shouldn't have what they deserve, what they have. They don't deserve it. Okay. But the difference is, I don't go after those people. I don't systematically harass them. I don't insult their family members. I don't try to get them, you know, arrested. I don't dox them. I don't swat them. I don't create 50 ghost accounts a day to go into their chat and spam. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do any of that. For me, my philosophy is, if there's someone I don't like, okay, I ignore them and I move on positively with my own life.
That's fair enough.
But that's what they don't do. They're obsessed. They're crazy people.
Then Steve came up with the great idea, a polygraph test for DSP to see if he's lying. And Steve said he would pay for everything, so DSP doesn't have to pay for a single thing. He'll come to DSP, which that will never happen, because he finally wants the truth. And he even tells DSP, you can put this in the detractor's face if you pass this, and you can put this all behind you. But of course, DSP's truth lies inside his own reality and what he makes it.
It says polygraph test. I don't know if you know this. Ashton from Kino knows it, and Andy Worski know it, but I have a polygraph machine, and I'm basically certified polygrapher. So for the rest of tonight's broadcast, I'm going to ask you to answer all the questions truthfully. And then after the show, I'd be willing to come to you and administer a polygraph to make sure you're answering the following questions from here on in truthfully. And failing that, I happen to find a retired FBI polygrapher that lives right in your area, and he's kind of friendly with me. He's done a job for my show before. He's in Seattle, so he could just easily drive to where you are and administer the polygraph either at your house or at a hotel nearby your house. Would you be willing to submit to that?
For what reason? What benefit do I have to do that? Because
so that you could clear your name, like everybody keeps. Listen, Phil, everybody keeps saying you're lying about a lot of stuff that we're going to get into next. So here's what I'm here for: Ashton from Kino and Andy Worski, who want you to have the redemption arc. And I thought, what better way of redemption than passing a lie detector test? What better way to prove all these evil detractors wrong? I've got a polygraph set up and a chair, right? It goes in a briefcase. I could take it on a plane. I could be at your house in a couple of days. I need a little bit of time to, you know, get the plane ticket and figure it out. But like, Phil, what better way to shut up all your detractors forever? You say those bank leaks aren't yours, right? We'll put you on a polygraph and ask you that question again and verify that you've been telling the truth this entire time and you haven't lied about that. I think this is a great idea. And if you don't agree to this, it doesn't look good for you, because it kind of looks like you're avoiding.
Let me fully respond.
Responsibility.
Shall I fully respond? Okay.
There you go. And by the way, that's 2 offers. And here's what I would do to make it completely fair. If you agree to it, I'll do a polygraph, and the FBI retired polygrapher. He's an expert and he's a member of the American Polygraphers Association. He's a world recognized expert. He's worked on tons of criminal cases, worked for a lot of high-profile lawyers on the West Coast. I'll get us both to do a polygraph. So you have 2 shots, and then we'll both tell what our results are. Because I haven't been doing it for 25 years like this retired FBI guy. So in fairness to you, we'll do 2 of them, and most likely we will concur on the results. So that would mean it would be impossible for you to pass 2 of them if you were lying, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, what you have to understand is very simple, all right? What you're proposing to me is an opportunity to prove my detractors wrong, okay?
Absolutely.
That's exactly what this is, all right?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I'm giving it to you. And by the way, by my own expense, I'm going to pay for the other polygrapher. I'm going to pay for the flight, the hotel. I'll pay for my meals. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm going to pay for it all.
Allow me to respond, because you're not letting me respond.
Oh,
Allow me
go
to
ahead.
respond properly to it, okay?
All right.
My viewers, my supporters, the people who actually like me, who are on my streams every day, who watch my content, who support me via all these contributions, right? Don't give 2 flaming shits about anything that my detractors have issue with me. They don't. They know all about all the controversies. They've heard my answers. They're happy with them. You understand? They don't give a shit. In fact, if I bring it up on my streams, they get upset. Why are you bringing that up? You know we don't care. We don't care what this one said about you, what that one's saying about you.
That's fair enough, but wouldn't it be good to just turn the page and never have to answer any of these questions again after you pass a polygraph?
Let me finish the answer, because here's the second half of the answer here. The detractors that I have, all right, have found a financial incentive to never be satisfied by any answer I ever give. By anything.
Even if you pass a polygraph,
even if I passed a polygraph, even if right now I opened up my bank account to show you all the information, even if I showed you every possible thing to clear up anything they've ever said about me, they wouldn't care, because they immediately pivot to the next thing they don't like, the next thing they can over dramatize, the next thing they can make drama out of.
But don't you think the people that are in your corner would say, like, look, he passed a polygraph. Those bank leaks weren't his spending. This isn't an issue anymore.
The people that are in my corner and don't care. Like I said, they literally don't want to talk about this shit ever again. They're done with it. This stuff is the bankruptcy stuff is 5 years in the past. Listen, you want to talk about criticize me and how I asked for contributions today? Fine. I will accept that, sure. But we're talking about stuff that's done. That's been rehashed, done. It's done with. The reason my detractors keep bringing it up is because it makes them money. They can monetize this cult-like mentality of idiots who don't like me, and they make tons of bank on it. You've seen it yourself researching me.
Then the topic of the bank leaks came out. And my God, you can see Phil squirm. He didn't want to be there. And Steven cornered him. Asked some tough questions. He connected the dots on a lot of different things. And DSP kept trying to lie about it. And Steven kept catching him in those lies.
I care about the people who support me every day, and they don't care about this.
Everybody.
If this is going to happen, okay, if this is going to happen, I need to have actual real incentive for it to happen. It's that simple.
Oh, so in other words, you want me to pay you to take a polygraph to prove your innocence and help you prove your innocence?
There has to be incentive.
I'm already paying for it. You know what? It's going to be a couple $1,000s for me to get a plane ticket, hotel. And remember, I'm going to ask you to be honest with me. When it comes to the bank leaks, you said this was on October 27th. Just received a $1,500 bill for legal fees to clean up the identity theft I just went through in the USA. You get billed for being a victim of a federal crime. Needless to say, this is effed up, and I'm pretty upset to get the news on my day off of all days. So I wanted to ask you if you could let me talk to the attorney or show me the invoice privately.
Talk to the attorney or show you the invoice for what? This particular thing I'm referencing in the tweet?
Yeah, you basically said that you received a $1,500 bill for legal fees. That would have to come from a lawyer, right, Phil? So you'd have a receipt, or you could show me a bank statement that you paid a lawyer $1,500 over these bank leaks. Because based on what my investigation uncovered, Phil, I don't believe that you paid any lawyer.
Would you like me to explain what this tweet
as long as you're not going
to?
Yeah. But you've already explained what it meant. You said that you had to spend all this money to straighten this out.
But that's not elaborating. That's a very quick tweet. Doesn't explain the situation. I can tell you right now what this means.
Well, just give me the proof that you spent $1,500. It's a pretty simple thing to do.
I would have to go back. Well, I have to explain to you what it is.
Now you're talking in circles, though. Phil.
I'm not talking in circles. I want to tell you, but you're not letting me. Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Oh, but before you do,
No,
though,
why are you cutting me off? Let me answer.
all right, try to answer quickly. We got a lot to get through.
If you want me to answer the question, let me answer the question, or else don't ask me. Are you gonna let me answer the questions?
Explain the $1,500 legal bills that you can't show
Okay.
proof of. Go ahead.
The legal bill is my tax people having to clean up the situation. Here's what happened. Because
So you paid an accountant.
I paid my tax attorney.
Okay.
Where that legal bill came
Yeah,
from.
that's what I asked to
say
see
it's
the
a-
invoice.
I see it's a legal bill. It's my tax attorney billed me for his time to clean this up because I was
Right.
already on back
So
payment.
can you
plan
show
with
me the
IRS.
invoice?
I could look for it. I don't know if I still have it. This is 4 years ago. I
Well,
don't
I
know
can-
if I have it.
I can call them and confirm if you give them permission to talk to me.
I can look for it. I mean, I don't. Do you really think that I want people contacting my
And
my
here
tax attorney?
I just want to show you this because I have a lawyer. I have a lawyer in my family, so he's
Uh-huh.
written a non-disclosure agreement between you and I, which basically stipulates that if whatever records you show with me, I'm only going to use to confirm or deny if you're telling the truth about all of this. I'm not going to share any personal information, account information, any identifying thing that could, because your argument is always, oh, this would put me in more danger. I'm gonna look at the invoice and verify that you spent $1,500 over these bank leaks to clean it up. Whether you paid a tax attorney, a tax accountant,
That's
a
all.
lawyer, whatever.
That's what it is. It's all the tax attorney / accountant.
All right. Well, I'll give you this non-disclosure agreement, and then you don't have to worry about me disclosing anything other than, yes, he paid a tax attorney $1,500 to clean up this bank leaks mess.
Okay, but what's the point?
The point is to prove that you've been telling the truth, because I don't think you have been about the bank leaks specifically.
And I don't care if you believe me or not. It doesn't
You don't
affect me in any way,
care.
shape, or form.
All right.
Does it?
So you don't care?
No, I don't. I don't
Wow.
care. I don't. I really don't. Like, I'm a content creator who sits down and makes gaming content, streams, chill content for his audience. I'm past all this nonsense in the past. I, don't care about this stuff. We are so past it. This is like dredging up shit that we are already done
Because
with.
it's never been settled. Because here's the problem, Phil. You talk a lot of shit about your detractors, but they have receipts, and you never showed receipts.
What
You
receipts
understand?
do they have exactly?
Well, we're gonna. I'll show you, but first let's do this here.
What receipts besides circumstantial stuff or stuff that they
All right.
claim
All
is
right.
real, but it's
All right.
never been proven?
It's
What-
circumstantial. We're going to get into it then. But before we do, I just want to remind you of what you've said previously about the bank leaks, because I don't think that you're being honest with your viewers or the world in general about these bank leaks, based on the information that I found in my investigation in these past couple of weeks.
The entire thing, bank leak stuff, is fake. There was no bank leaks that ever happened to me. That whole thing was fabricated by my detractors. I don't even know what information they got or who they got it from, but it wasn't me. Like, they'd be like, what about the bank leaks and what about this and that? I'm like, what about them? Did you analyze them? Can you show them on stream? Can you prove that those are real?
And just so you're aware, Phil, I did analyze them, and I can show them on stream right now and prove that they're real. I don't believe that you've been honest about the bank leaks. I think you lied about a lot of that, because it's in your benefit to lie. You don't want your detractors to know how much you've been spending on gin and wine and DoorDash and a WWE game.
Why would it matter?
Oh, let's get to the bank leaks, especially.
Why-
You say they're fake.
Hold
But
on.
Phil,
Why would it
in
matter?
order for them to be fake, the person that faked them would have to know what kind of car you drive, who your internet service provider is, who
Okay.
your electric company was, who your
Okay.
garbage company was,
Okay.
what their monthly charge was at the time of the bank leaks for people living in your area at the time of
Mm-hmm.
those leaks. They'd have to know what restaurants you eat at and when you ate at them. They'd have to know when and where your wife gets haircuts. They'd have to know what your local water company was and what you pay them every month. They'd have to know when you go to Burger King. They'd have to know when you go out to eat, when you do DoorDash, when and where you go grocery shopping, how much your back tax payments are, what your mortgage company is and how much you pay that every month, how much you're making on YouTube. They'd have to know how much you're making on Twitch, what accounting firm you use, and what they're charging you. The odds of somebody knowing all that information, it's like it would take a 007 CIA operative to fake these. Phil. You don't see that. Do you understand that there's direct correlation? You say I went to Burger King, and the Burger King charge is there on that day, or the day before. You say I'm getting a haircut. 8 times somebody caught you saying you're getting a haircut, and those haircuts are on the bank leaks. And do you understand that the person that did that is a retired police officer? The person that found that information is a retired police officer. I think he's called Broside Phil.
Oh, I don't know.
They'd have to know all of this information. In order to fake them, it would take like a team of people. And here's the other thing.
Okay.
Do you understand that like people can track things down? So
sure.
you know where those leaks came from, right? They came from an audio recording of somebody who socially engineered on their telephone basically calling an online teller at your bank and listing off all of the charges for that whole 18-month period. And here's what I found out in the course of my investigation. Let's just take a listen.
On September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $120.27 from Comcast. On September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $112.28 from Apple iTunes. On September 3rd.
All right, so it's enough to say that somebody sat on a telephone for 5 hours. Now, I went through the first 5 hours of it. It matches the bank leaks 100%. And I also contacted the bank. This is the online teller at the time. That's the voice they use. So for somebody to fake this, they would have to have the software development kit for the telephony for this bank software and the text-to-speech that's used in this. They'd need the software development kit. Do you know what that costs?
No, I don't know what that costs.
It costs tens of thousands of dollars. Somebody would have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fake this 5-hour phone call with your online bank teller, Phil. You don't think that sounds like overwhelming evidence that they're real? You mean to tell me one of your detractors spent 10 grand on a software development kit?
Are you going to let me respond now?
Okay, let's hear it.
So you're saying that you heard this clip, this 5-hour clip that supposedly someone recorded off of some phone line, and this is 100% indisputable evidence that it's true. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that I went through and somebody really did sit on this online teller and then transcribe every charge to a spreadsheet. It matches this 5-hour recording. Do you know the time it would take somebody to first fake this recording? And then again, they'd have to know everything you spend money on, and all of these charges that are near your house. Did you know that all the charges are within just a few miles of your house? And that correlates perfectly to, being right near your house. Here's a perfect example. I've redacted as much as I can.
We already know this. Everyone already knows this, but go ahead.
This is the supermarket. This is the supermarket where you shop. It's 3 miles from your house. 4 miles, I'm sorry. And this is the discount store. This one's, 3.1 miles. 3.4 miles. I don't know. It's a few miles from your house. And I was able to do this mapping with over 40 of the charges. The Petco, the place where you get your hair cut. It's all within a few miles of your house. And there's correlations where you said things on stream like, I'm going to get a haircut today. Those charges are there. And in the case of the Burger King, they would have had to know the day before you said you were going to Burger King, because that was the day before. It's virtually impossible for somebody to fake these, in my opinion. I've got 40 correlations. These are all stores and locations all right near your home in this course of this 18 months. You mean to tell me that some crazy evil genius figured out how to fake a 5-hour teller call and then put it all on spreadsheets as well? It's all fake. Look at the spreadsheet. Okay. It correlates to the audio recordings. 100%. So and look at this. You're telling me somebody faked all this? This isn't you?
I'm still waiting for you to finish so I could respond.
I'm not finished, so respond so far, and I got more for you. I got a lot more for you, Phil. You can either admit that the bank leaks are real, and those are your charges, or you can continue to lie to your viewers and everybody else. It's up to you. I told you about that road to redemption. So, come on, what are we going to do here?
So, are you done now, or do you have more to say about the bank leaks? I'll respond to all of it when you're done.
Well, the reason that people are so upset, you can see in these charts, it shows that you spent more on transactions most month than your mortgage payment while you're begging your audience for money for your bills.
That wasn't my question. My question is, are you done talking about the bank leaks so that I can respond and we can move on?
No, yeah, I can show you more evidence. I can show you more evidence. All right.
I'm just waiting for you to be done, and then I'll respond. Because there's no.
All right, I'll show you. All right, then fine. I'll show you some more evidence, and you can try to explain all of this away. The haircuts. The haircuts, Phil. The haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
The haircuts ruin your grift. The haircuts ruin your grift, and here's why. Curls and twirls. Is that your wife, Phil?
No.
On the website, you're going to say that's not her? Do I got to get a
so.
facial recognition expert to show that's her?
I don't think that's her.
Where to get your haircut, Phil? Where to get your haircut?
I'm not going to tell you because then people are going to
You
harass
can't tell me because you get your haircut at Curls and Twirls.
Did you hear what I just said?
Your wife's on the website, Phil.
Steve, are you listening to what I'm saying?
Then, out of nowhere, we had a surprise guest, Broside Phil. And it was wild seeing DSP and one of his detractors together. And as a retired police officer, he was able to look into things Phil claimed, talking to officers, bank leaks, all this stuff. And Phil's story kept changing because he kept getting caught in lie after lie after lie.
And
wait a minute. That's not. What are you talking about?
He spoke to the detective that you talked to. You said in the Side Scrollers interview that sometime prior to the bank leaks, you didn't file a police report. By the way, your bank would have. Did you know? My wife, I mentioned she was an accountant. Do you know what she did? She worked in the fraud department at Beneficial Savings Bank for 20 years. And she told me that you, Phil, said that these people got access to multiple of your accounts. The bank itself is required by federal law and banking regulations to file a police report. Our retired law enforcement officer friend filed the FOIAs. The bank didn't file any fraud reports. They're required by law to do so. So if you talk to the bank, if you talk to the bank and said somebody got access to my account illegally, they would have filed the appropriate police reports, talked to the detectives, and followed up on that. They didn't. And you lied about when you said the police only investigate human trafficking or something.
No, hold on.
We've got another video
for
that. We've got another video for the FOIAs proving you lied.
Wait. So hold on a second. So you're saying that I'm lying completely about the bank account? Like I still have this bank account, it's real, and it's still open, and
honestly, Phil, I'm losing track of your lies. I don't know what you've lied about because you lie about a lot of stuff.
You're bringing up 10 points, and every time I try to address one, you move on to another, so I can't address any of your points.
Well,
I can clarify. I can clarify.
Yeah, go ahead. And by the way, I've checked this person's credentials. They really are a retired law enforcement officer.
Steve, I'm asking you. You were just mentioning. You said if there's fraud involved with the bank account, the company is required to file a police report about the fraud with the bank account, correct?
Yeah. So I think you never reported any of this to your bank. You just got a new bank account and moved on. That's what I believe.
So you're saying I manually closed the bank account?
I don't know what happened. I know that if you would have reported fraud to your bank, they were required by federal banking regulations and federal law to fill out police reports and open a fraud investigation. They didn't do that.
100% correct. 100% correct.
And by the way, I'm just saying that as the husband of somebody whose wife worked in the fraud department at a major Fortune 500 bank for 20 years. She did this every day, Phil. Every day. People would call and say, somebody got a hold of my card. Well, you have to be willing to prosecute them, and we'll get to the police. And she'd fill out the police report. She'd talk to detectives. She'd follow up on all the fraud cases. None of this happened in your case. And I think that's because the bank leaks are real, and that's your banking information. And you just wanted to glaze over this so that you could keep going with the e-begging grift. That's
Stephen,
what I think.
The more damning thing about this, however, is the fact that during the Side Scrollers interview, he stated that he didn't file a police report because during a threat case, which was done via email, it was a Swedish email company, I think it's protonmail.com, which very truly did threaten Phil Burnell, saying that they wanted to kill him and do terrible stuff.
We got that
report. Totally got that. I've got that. I actually, I have every police report from the time that Phil Burnell lived in Washington until present day, as of about 2 months ago. However, he said that during that time he spoke with a detective, and the detective said that, we don't really do cybercrime. Now, he lives in Renton. I live in a small town in the Midwest. Now, my jurisdiction, my unit size, my entire police department was 50 men. I personally did crimes like Philip Burnell is talking about here. I worked them personally. I was quite good at them, to be quite honest. So it didn't make sense to me. So I called the detective because the detective's name was in the police report. And when I spoke to the detective...
By the way, that call's recorded, Phil. We have the receipt.
And I have the recording. When I spoke to the detective remembered Phil. Lickety split. He goes, no, I remember him. Yeah, for sure. I said, great. Here's what I have.
Wait. The detective I talked to was a woman.
Okay, well, the detective, according to, and I have the narrative affidavits, was a detective Steve. I have the narrative affidavits. Was a detective. The narrative affidavits.
I don't care about your narrative.
The narrative affidavits, which is recorded by law. He remembered you when he spoke with you. 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 He asked you. He went through everything. I said, can you tell me more about anything to do with, let's say, human trafficking? Do you only work human trafficking? He said, what do you mean only human trafficking? I said, well, what he's telling me is that
this is when your lies catch up to you, Phil.
Someone in your agency, someone in your agency told this man that you don't work. That you don't work anything.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go.
That you don't work.
Can you
that
keep
you
talking? And I'm gonna look at a piece of paper.
That you don't work anything. That you don't work anything but human trafficking. To which I was responded to by this detective, which, by the way, really bad to lie to people that are seeking information.
I agree.
That then said, no, we work cases like that all the time. We work data breaches. We work criminal use of financial cards. We work all that stuff. And so, I mean, what else is there to say? They don't just work human trafficking. They're a larger agency than my agency was. They, of course, have separate divisions. Who in their right mind would only work human trafficking in a capacity of a cybercrime?
They're required by law to investigate a crime. They can't just ignore a crime. And we've got the receipts here, Phil, of you lying to the side scroller guys.
Now stop. Stop playing the video because I have something to say. What's the case number?
Stand by, please. I have that up. Stand by.
He'll get it.
Hold on. Stand by.
We've got all the receipts. We've got all the paperwork.
That's written. Hold on. This is the case number for. This is the email, right? Stand by. Hold please. 21-532.
That's correct. That is the case number.
I know it is.
And what is the name of the person who you think was responsible for this case?
The investigator that I spoke with was Detective. Stand by, please. Christopher Edwards.
That is not the person who I spoke with. I have completely different information here, and it was a woman.
Great. Who's that person? I'll happily call them.
What's her name? We'll call them and verify.
I'm not going to say it publicly. I can give it to you.
Oh, come on, Phil, with the obfuscation again. Isn't it convenient? Every time pressed for receipts, you don't have one. We've got a mountain of receipts here, Phil. You don't have any receipts. You have excuses.
Do you really want this person to be publicly harassed? That's why I'm going to give it to you.
She's a police officer. I think she could take it.
I love when DSP is caught in a lie. He just gets loud and overspeaks people. And then he tries to take the smallest little detail and twist it to prove his point, even if it's a lie. Oh, no. It was a woman I talked to. Even though Broside Phil has the receipt. He's a retired police officer, so he'd be able to get that information. I do like at the end, too. he asked Broside Phil, what's the name of the officer? So Broside Phil said it, and DSP goes, oh, that's not the person I talked to, and it's a woman too. And then Steven goes, okay, what's that person's name? And DSP says, well, I don't want to say it because we'll be publicly harassed. But you had Broside Phil say the name, but you won't say the name. How convenient is that, Phil? And at this point, it's dawning on DSP. He now realizes he messed up. And he even says to Steve, I think this was a bad idea. I probably should have never done this if I'd known what this would be about.
The term, but when we were talking about just a minute ago, I brought up circumstantial evidence, which you bring up a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the issue that you have. I'm not saying I have it with you. I don't have any personal grief against you. Do you know that DNA evidence, which is thought of to be the greatest of greatest evidence, it is the slam dunk. You were there, you touched the gun, you drank from the cup. By legal definition, is circumstantial evidence.
No, I didn't know that. I'm not a lawyer.
There you go. You can look it up yourself, my dog. Circumstantial evidence is hands down some of the most damning evidence on the planet. Now, the reason I bring this up is not because it changes the situation, Phil.
I don't care about any of this. If I had known that it was going to be a show about me saying, like, I care about proving if the bank leaks are real or not or whatever, I would have said to Steve, just so you know, Steve, it's a waste of my time and I respectfully decline because I don't care. No matter what, I will never be seen in a positive light. Don't you understand that?
So you're okay for a softball interview, but not for a hard hitting one.
No.
We asked you the questions that the whole internet wants you to answer. That's what I did tonight.
Which I've already been asked, which I've already responded to. My answers don't change. I don't care.
Well, hold on.
Happy with where I am. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm happy with where I am. I'm successful where I am. I'm having a good time with life. I like the content I make. I'm okay with who I have become. Okay? I don't care about you say I beg too much. I don't care. I have fun. My viewers have fun. It's all good. I'm not harming anyone with the content that I put out there.
Agreed. Kind of agreed.
Those times in the past, I will admit, I've looked at myself in the past and I look at me saying stupid things and bad things like, man, I need money to pay my mortgage and shit like that. And I look at that now and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because it was a bad situation and I didn't have a way out of it. Okay. I've already admitted about all my shortcomings, that I'm irresponsible with money. I did all these bad things and I was dishonest about certain stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore.
Okay. But hear me out.
So
okay, fine.
So I don't care.
And again, because we're talking about DSP, there has to be one person that shows up and tells Steve about the 20K pipe scam that DSP tried. And that person is Duty Streams.
Stop doing it. People were asking me for it constantly. So I brought it back as rewards. The only people who don't like it are my detractors.
In December, he had 2 slow days. He claimed his HOA sent an email on Sunday night telling him he needs $20,000 to replace his pipes. Then he grifted for 3 days.
False. Completely false. Taken out of context.
Are you sure?
Yes. What happened was...
What's the context? Did you say that you needed 20 grand and then beg?
That never happened. The HOA happened to send an email that said, FYI, the pipes are getting old in all these homes. You probably want to replace them and they're going to cost $20,000. And all I did, because we were having a conversation about stuff, I talked about the email. That was it. I never said, hey guys, let's do a fundraiser. Send me money to replace my pipes. I don't need to replace my pipes. And by the way, that 20 grand is only if you don't do proper maintenance and stuff. Then that's an emergency that the pipes burst. But you understand, Steve, you hear, this is context. This is what you never hear. You got the super chat.
I just think it's cringe talking about. Did you know?
Then DSP had enough. He had to spend time with his wife. His excuse. He's running late. And you can tell he was pissed. And he's gonna cry like a little bitch. And man, oh man, Steve just went in on him. And it was beautiful. It was like Side-Scrollers 2.0. But imagine, it's just Adam. He doesn't hold back. And he did all the research and had the receipts on him. It was glorious. This is even better than Side-Scrollers. And it's funny how history repeats itself. Because remember, the Side-Scrollers happened. Then he had his decompression stream, which DSP's going to have. And he had that daily rap, shitting all over Side-Scrollers. And then the next day, he shit all over Side-Scrollers saying, oh, they're just in it for the money and grift and blah, blah, blah. And spoiler, he's going to say the same thing about Steven, which is going to make meetings at the casino Very awkward. But then again, we know what's up with the casino. We know their true ambitions is just to milk Phil, to make fun of him. Like dinner for schmucks.
That's why I don't care about disproving anything. I don't care about the detractors.
Speaking of
nothing.
rumors, I got a lot of rumors about your cat. Ask him why he spent hundreds of dollars on a flight stick, but would not spend money on his cat to have blood.
We're not going to talk about my cat.
All right, so you don't want to take viewer questions and clear some of this stuff up? You don't want to do that?
Dude, do you see what time it is? I gotta get out.
You did 5 hours with those other guys. I just thought you'd want to, you know.
Well, Steve, it's been wild. I see now what your angle was. Sadly, it wasn't.
Your burger rewards take up a lot of your streams, and you still ask for money during the reward stream.
Sadly, it wasn't.
Do you ask for money during the reward streams? Oh, one more question. Do you cut out the begging when you cut out the begging, dude? You cut out the begging on your streams.
So I'm gonna
and re-upload them
to everyone who watched tonight.
Begging. If you're not doing anything wrong, you wouldn't need to cut out the begging, bro.
You know what he's talking about. So anyway, to everyone watching tonight,
you take the stream down and you cut out a lot of the begging.
I hope you enjoy. I really do hope you enjoy.
Come on,
Steve,
wow, what a grip.
I'm not biting any of your hooks. It's all a waste of time. It was a good try. It was a good try, but you know, I
tell viewers if they don't donate, that cat has to cook.
All right. So
you did do that. I heard that one.
Are we done now? Are we good?
I guess if you don't want to, go through the Keemstar stuff. You don't want to go through the Keemstar stuff.
We agreed to 90 minutes, and I gave you more than double that. So I think that at least deserves some respect. You know.
All right. Yeah. Well. Everybody thought you would rage quit 10 minutes in. So yeah, I guess I give you some respect.
All right. All right. Well, that's it. I don't know. It's your show, but I got to get out of here.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and I wish you best of luck, and I do hope you find that road to redemption.
All right. And the thing is, here's the thing. My final statement. I don't need redemption. I'm good where I am. People are happy.
Okay.
People are happy. Not even if you're not. If you want to live in that world of drama and online stuff, more power to you.
You want to do next Thursday at 10 p.m.? We'll go through more evidence.
I'm done hating on
Come on, Phil. Do another show. We'll go through more evidence.
He won't even let me finish my
final
statement.
Go ahead.
He still talks over me. You can live in the world of internet drama as much as you want. You can enjoy it. Go for it. Normal people don't care. I don't care. We're all good. We're all good being over here on our side. You can be over there on their side. If ever we have collapse, maybe. Who knows, right? But I don't care about this stuff. I mean, more power to you. On to your next, or if you make more content about me, I'm not going to be involved in it. I really don't give a shit. Okay? Fair enough?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, best of luck to you. I do hope you find that road to redemption and, maybe work on that 10-year plan that you promised your parents and get a job.
The redemption I don't need, the plan that failed because of COVID, and then I explained that, but, again, you're coming out of context.
Bro.
You're coming out of context of everything else. There's
honor thy mother and father.
There's nothing else to argue about here tonight.
They gave you the money when you needed it, though, dude. They gave you the money when you needed their help. You didn't keep your promise. That's all I'm saying.
You have a good night.
All right. Thanks.
And now that DSP has quit the interview, man oh man, Steven has some last-minute words for Darkside Phil.
And honestly, it went a lot like I expected. We got kind of him talking in circles, making excuses, and what it keeps coming back into my mind. If thousands or tens of thousands of people were calling you a lying scumbag on the internet for years, and you got an ally, and let's be clear, I'm not really his ally, but because of the relationship that he has with the Kino boys and the relationship I have with them, I would never betray the guy. I would never stab him in the back. And, there could be legal consequences. I got legal non-disclosure agreements written up that basically say I won't give out his personal information, I won't give out account numbers. All I will do is check the records of his bank at the time of the bank leaks, and then check them against the bank leaks and confirm or deny whether the bank leaks accurately reflect his real account. From him, records from him. He won't do that. I give him a separate NDA, show me your WWE membership information. I won't disclose any personal information. I'll just confirm or deny. I'll just report on how much you're spending on a mobile game. He won't do that. I offer to go out and do the polygraph. He won't do that. I offer to pay for another professional polygraph examiner, retired FBI polygraph examiner. He won't do that. And it just leaves me with, there's a reason he won't easily disprove all of this stuff. And boy, I got bank leaks, denials. I got all these things. Bank leaks, audio. We got to that one. Here's one that we didn't get to. $1 million made. Where did it all go? You know, I hate to jump. I'm not a fan of Keemstar, but I have a video. Maybe I'll play it another time of Keemstar. You know, talking about level 1. Like Phil's still on level 1 after 15 years. And if he's made $1 million, where did it all go? Why does he have to say, I need money for groceries this week? Bank leak spreadsheet. The WWE mobile children's game expenditures were greater than his mortgage payments on many of those months. We didn't really get to the alcohol costs. And, you know, I struggle with that myself. I spend $50 a week or something like that on beer, and my wife really doesn't like it because she keeps a spreadsheet and she reminds me in the last 3 months you spent this on beer. We could go on vacation, she says. I feel like telling her that is my vacation. You know, I have a tough day, I got a little vacation, and then I go about my business and do the next day. Legal bills, request proof. We hit that one. Bank records, 3 accounts compromised. So I mean, I want proof of the 3 banks accounts that were compromised. He said that 3 to Ashton. I said, actually, I think the guy's fascinating. I would totally interview him, but I'd need to investigate all this crazy stuff I keep hearing about him first. And, you know, I think Ashton kind of gave him a push to do it. So thank you, PP from the Keno Casino.
Then we get to the daily wrap. And for some reason, Phil decided to do the fire overlay and talk about how the interview was a waste of his time. Steven had an agenda and how he was a bad host, and he's going to have trouble getting other guests after this.
Didn't happen because I appeared on a show over on the Truth Seekers Show channel on YouTube. Now, just to forewarn everyone, if you do decide to go partake in that show, it's going to basically be 20 minutes of calm conversation and about 2.5+ hours of Steve, the host of the show, basically bringing up the same exact drama stuff that you've heard about me for the last 2.5 years. I guess he had some kind of big, lofty ambitions that he was going to try to set me up with some special lie detector event, all of this stuff going on, and it was just fucking bull. I'm going to be honest with you. All the stuff that came up, all the same shit that we've seen a zillion times, okay, from my detractors, literally not a new piece of anything presented. It's all the same nothing burger shit from 5+ years ago in regards to bank leaks and the bankruptcy and shit like that, right? So because of that, it's like, well, it was disappointing. I was hoping that we were going to have more of a back and forth conversation. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that Steve is a bad guy, but man, he's a bad host. He was yelling over me so much that I barely could even give an answer to anything that he was saying, which is kind of unfortunate, okay? So it is what it is. I spent a lot of time on the show, but I'm done with it now. You know, he wanted me to be involved in all. Well, will you do this and do that? I was like, no. Like, Steve, I tried to tell him, he's like, you tried to come on my show here because you were interested in clearing your name. I said, Steve, I have zero interest in talking about any of the drama stuff we're talking about right now at all. It doesn't affect me. My viewers like me and my content. We've already been through all of this. The stuff you're talking about is from many years ago and doesn't even apply to who I am or what I do today. Just take a look at everything around. Well, I guess I could turn this off now. Just take a look at everything around you and how it's changed. But it is what it is again. You know, you want to watch it, you can. If you're a fan of mine, you're probably going to hate it. You're going to be like, didn't you already do all this when you reacted to your June the King documentary? Yes, I did. It's literally the same stuff rehashed again for the zillionth time. So, all that being said, I do feel like, sadly for me, it was kind of a waste of time. I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. I don't think any of his viewers, fans are going to be coming over to watch my content. He made out essentially with a payday from my detractors. What a shocking twist, right? But as you know, it's the same. It was kind of a waste of time. I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. I don't think any of his viewers, fans are going to be coming over to watch my content. He made out essentially with a payday from my detractors. What a shocking twist, right? But as you know, it's the same rodeo over and over. It's not a big deal. Do I look angry right now? No, I don't. It's just the same crap. All right. So anyway, it is what it is. It's over. The hilarious part is that the entire time he wants me to come back on the show. I was like, dude, like, you just wasted 2.5 hours of my time. Like, why would I want to come back on the show? Like, it's so stupid. So anyway, you know, tomorrow we're back for the end of the week, and I'll talk more about this at length. I'm sure you guys will have tons of questions and stuff to ask me during the Level 1 podcast tomorrow.
Then it got worse and worse for DSP. As it appears, Steven is also going on That Being Said. Like I said, just like the side scrollers all over again when Craig went on That Being Said. And look at this, look at this. PPP even wants the polygraph test done. Man, what a wild time to be alive. And that brings us to Friday. Let's see how the week ended for Darkside Phil and the damage control that followed. First, before his stream, he posts this up. A picture that says, "The darkest night is often the bridge to the brightest tomorrow. Good night." And he posted something like this as well when he did June the King documentary React, and he admitted he was down from the rafters, but then said he sold it. He put something like this the next day. And look at that, because he didn't have time yesterday. Decompression Podcast, aka Damage Control. Then someone left his super thanks on one of DSP's video. I really don't care if you spend this on something dumb. Just keep showing up and providing us with chill content. And hopefully, you don't cut ties with PPP over this, because I like smart guys. Oh, if you ever do another interview, do it on your own channel so you benefit off of it at least. Then we had the ass sucker himself, Big Papa Phil. If anyone doesn't know, this is Timbo Slice. He has gone through 3 bankruptcies, all for DSP. Good luck on the 4th bankruptcy, Timbo. Phil, you shouldn't do any more interviews unless you know ahead of time that it won't be one of these beyond stupid gotcha style interviews where they regurgitate detractor memes. It's beyond pathetic that these people allow themselves to be sucked into the detractor content before interviewing you when all they want to do is attack you. Then continues on. Phil can't win here. He already admitted his past mismanagement of money and methods of running his business that were not the best. He doesn't need to bend over backwards with polygraph tests and bank statements to prove anything to anyone. I personally don't give a fuck and recognize that Phil is not who he was 6, 7, 8 years ago. That is a lie. He's worse. And then we have a newly born Cranky. If you had just put all this behind you with one big omission, it'd been over a long time ago. Big Papa Phil. It's all pointless and only meant to attack Phil in ways that will never stop. Then as soon as the podcast opens up, the decompression stream, he's the victim. You gotta feel sorry for him, dude. Plus, please support the stream. And then not only that, he was begging people, please support the next Yakuza game. He really wants to play it, despite all the other Yakuza games not being supported and some of them being wage quit. And then even said, I'm gonna quit this if you guys don't support it. He's already pre-wage quit in the game that's not even out yet that he hasn't bought. And then he didn't want to talk about last night. He didn't want to talk about drama. However, if you give him $50, he will talk about last night's interview. And as Banana Jones points out, that's just like LTG. $30, I'll turn on my camera. Get that ass banned. And then he accused Steve of stealing everything from Kiwi Farms, even though you could see all the receipts that Steve provided. He connected all the dots with the bank leaks, his bankruptcy, all the spending. But of course, DSP wants to control the narrative in his little bubble. And Steve was not the only target. He also went after side-scrollers yet again and called them grifters. And then PPP denied ever doing this, ever setting him up. He said Steve went rogue. He snaked us, dude. And you'll never believe this. DSP 100% believes him. And we have Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. He's actually so fucking gullible. He genuinely believes PPP knew nothing about the interview being a setup. Truly dented. And then we see DSP with his dented head. And would you look at that? In the comments, Steven with a gif of Red Fox just saying, dummy. Then we have a quote from DSP. I'm an untapped source of knowledge. And then Poems Josh. The first cracks are starting to show between PPP and Phil. Philip is choosing to believe him, but actions speak louder than words, is what DSP said. Then goes on to say, he kept me for 3 hours and he told me I would be there for 90 minutes. Poem Josh, you could have left. How would he have stopped you? Yeah, especially a digital Discord call. How's he gonna physically make you stay there? And then we have Steven, Darkside Phil, trying to figure out and explain to his viewers what happened last night. I think I broke him. And would you look at that? Anytime there's drama, something bad happens, he gets wailed out in the next stream. It's almost like this has been happening for almost 17 years. And would you look at that? It's like 4 people combined together that wailed out on him. Then we have David Davidson, who shows off Phil with his Fell For It Again award. And then he was on the call with Broside Phil. DSP was actually nice to Broside Phil, saying if detractors were like him, we'd actually get somewhere. Maybe we'll talk to detractors like him in the future and we'll work something out. Well, guess what? Today, when he's not face to face to Broside Phil, he was lying. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He made everything up. And Broside Phil, yes, I've heard. Yes, I'm compiling the paperwork. Yes, this will eventually be addressed. No, I will not have whiskey near me when I do. Big ups to everyone let me know he's attacking me. Many saw it as cringe, as I know. But I take being honest / correct very seriously. Broside Phil is also a retired policeman, which means credibility is a very important thing to him. And then I put this out. I think I found the female officer that DSP spoke to. And you see Officer Sanders? Then goes on to say, truth is in the eye of the beholder. That is a DSP 2025 quote. And then he refused to start the gameplay. He just sat there, trying to brainwash people, pig-nose people, trying to tell them what they want to believe. The cult mentality. And then Phil said he couldn't leave because people would say he rage quit the interview. And dudes, just like Derek, can't give the detractors a win, dude. Even though that whole interview was a huge detractor win. Then you're going to see peak Cope here. How the detractors are in worse shape than him. And how his life, DSP, is a rags to riches story. OIC hasn't been around in years. Now keep in mind, he's been spoiled and sheltered his entire life. Everything's been paid for him. So for DSP, it was riches to riches. There were no rags.
Chances are so much less than yours. Be happy you're more successful than most of the haters. Guys, again, if you want to really talk about what the story is, it's the turnaround. I went from rags to riches to going bankrupt to now being good again. What a roller coaster ride my life has been. It's been up and down since I've been a content creator. That's the story, right? Like, I've been on both ends here of the experience, and it's pretty wild that I'm still here, and now today things have turned around the way that they have, and I have people who like me and have my back. And here's the other funny part about all of this, too. The big detractor shtick is that Phil only has like 4 people who support him. Really? What about this morning? Right? Do you see maybe more than 4 people around today supporting me? Just saying, you know? Because it's not true. The narrative is there are some big people that support in big ways, but they're not here every day, and they're not the person who 100%, support me. It's people who come from all walks of life, that people come from all places all around the world, and they all watch me for different reasons. Some people like the podcast. Some people just like hanging out with me no matter what I do. Some people like certain games. Some people like this or like that, and they come and they contribute to what they like, It's not 2 people doing it. It's ridiculous. Not everyone is OIC or ICS or whatever. Iron Chef Sakai hasn't been around since Sunday, right? And to be honest, with the way that Ashton felted him on Smart Guys on Tuesday night, I don't know if he'll ever come back, because that was a pretty bad felting that he got. Be honest here, okay? But yeah, like, that's what I mean. It's not one person. This whole week, was I destitute because Iron Chef Sakai wasn't around, right? Has my empire fallen because there were no ginormous tips from NDO or well, first of all, Only Iced Coffee hasn't even been around in years. Seriously, I mean that. Like, I rarely see them. When they come by, they renew their sub, and that's it. So, anyway, I don't even know why we're talking about that. All right, I think I'm...
And ever since he started getting money from the casino, he kept saying month after month, eventually, I'm going to start saving. After I have everything built up, I'm going to start saving. I now have time to save money. Well, he now says, eventually, he'll save money. I can't wait for the second bankruptcy. Then we have this message from Jade. At DSP Gaming, you ready now? Jade was ready for gameplay. He doesn't like drama, dude. Then we have Steven yet again. Darkside Phil's Cope stream was hilarious. We have the receipts, Phil. You sad, pathetic little man. We have evidence, overwhelming evidence. He has excuses and lies for years now. The road to redemption for him is fading away, it seems. And then this is on Valentine's Day, remember. So DSP is doing overtime while his wife on Valentine's Day sits downstairs doing nothing. just because he's gotten bodied the last few sets in Street Fighter 6 and was sitting at 1,464 MR. What a bitch. And then Steven posts this on Twitter. Hurry up or I won't be able to get Arby's today. Then we have Frawny. Unexpected surprise. Thanks for the mention, Steven. Surreal seeing DSP having to face the wall of thumbnails. And Steven, my pleasure. I love finding your channel. You do excellent work and editing to expose this clown. Big ups. Then DSP talked about the Elden Ring because he's supposed to play it tonight. DSP said if his Elden Ring beta is a mess, DSP will play Marvel vs. Capcom Collection or Hangout Q&A. Then he actually played the Elden Ring beta and said he was rushing to get into the quote-unquote office. And he accidentally left the leaderboard up, almost like a reminder, I expect money, dudes. And this is how it went for the Elden Ring. Because remember, he can't look up guides, his hand can't be held because it's brand new, everyone experiencing it at the same time. Which, by the way, for years, DSP said everyone should experience things at the same time, no advanced copies, no advantages or anything like that. And this is the result of it, if everything was like this. DSP's already died twice and down 3 times. He's already complained about lag in the beta. DSP is complaining that the game is tuned for 3 players, has enemies he can't solo by himself. Then DSP says he can't see the enemies because there's too much grass. The Elden Ring beta gameplay is what you get when Phil can't look up guides on how to play and what to do. He's just waffling around and dying. I feel bad for all these people he's playing with. He's just a handicap and dead weight. And look at that face. Like I said before, it's a man that hates his job and hates his life. And then he said he had no plans for Valentine's Day, as he's not celebrating Valentine's Day with his wife today because it's a busy day. With everyone celebrating Valentine's Day, he will celebrate it next week. Keep in mind too, Saturday is his day off, which he's going to spend with his wife, but they're not going to spend Valentine's Day together or celebrate it. Make that make sense, Phil. And then Poem Josh noticed something. He's been very tame with his money asking since last night. You can tell he's trying not to stir the pot too hard right now. Then we have this from Real Style Real. Phil can't have Kat on stream anymore because their attraction is just too intense. He can barely keep his hands off her model style body. And then would you look at that? Almost like every time there's drama, NDO with a $100 tip. And of course DSP sat on it so he can beg for more. So just like the side-scroller interview, he changed his rules after that for future interviews, and the same thing happened today after the interview with Steven.
I'm not doing that kind of interview. Like, if people want me to be in an interview, it's not going to be about me. It's going to be, hey, would you join a discussion that we're going to talk about something, or would you be a guest on a show where we're going to comment on stuff, or maybe you could talk about, you know, your history as a YouTuber, stuff like that. It's not going to be, oh, let's just talk all about Phil so that that way they can be stupid and turn it into drama. I'm not doing that anymore.
Then we look at the financials for the week. Tips, down 50%. YouTube Super Chat, down 25%. YouTube members, down 70%. Kick subs, down 14%. But dude, everyone loves him. He has a resurgence, dude. And then we're gonna leave it off on this clip from Kino Casino.
It doesn't matter how many times he's like, Dickers is like Phil, where he like will deny evidence before his eyes. He just lies like he breathes. It doesn't matter.
That was the week for DSP. If you like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.